We turned the Instagram live off because I can see you lot on my screen.
Two screens
anyway.
is mashing up. All right.
Can anybody else hear that like beeping sound?
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah, that's just the.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah,
it's good.
There's too many men were watching themselves on Instagram live.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it is.
All right, cool. Let's go. All right, Essence. Actually, I shouldn't have said that.
But where am I looking? I'm sorry, y'all.
Anywhere, look anywhere.
I'm looking everywhere.
Look everywhere. It doesn't matter. All cameras are on you. All right, guys. We are so. I have no idea what the hell happened the first time round. The team got absolutely mashed up. I'm talking about the things online. Everybody who's just joining, drop a heart. Was good, and tell us where you're tuning in from. Got a couple people on IG Live. Nobody's quite locked in on everything else just yet. So Borough, raw.
No, that's right. That's the home team.
Where Borough?
I'm from New Jersey, guys. I'm a Jersey girl. I know you guys. We say Philadelphia because it's like my closest neighbor, and like nobody, really knows too much about like little old New Jersey. But
don't worry, we basketball fans out here. We
educated. Know about Jersey. I met a few Jersey
people. A little bit, right?
Over to the States. So.
A little bit. Yeah, we know a bit about Jersey, just a little bit. Especially because I'm from Camden, and you got Camden, New Jersey over there as well.
You told me that, and it's just like I totally forget that because like the UK is just so thick on you. It just took over. I don't know if you should claim that anymore. I don't know if you have any rights to it anymore.
What claim? What? Sorry.
I said because it's like the UK has taken over. You're like your accent is so thick. So I always forget that you're from.
Mesmerized by the accents.
It's a beautiful one.
If you say so. Anyways, guys, who set the levels today? Please introduce yourself.
Essence, you want to go first?
Well, of course, I'm the lady, right? I'm Essence Natay. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I'm a singer-songwriter from New Jersey. Am I just giving name or am I giving too much detail right
now? Everything. Go for it.
I'm a mom of two. I have twins, boy and girl. They're 9. Congrats. Really cool.
Congrats.
And I'm just here tapping in with my UK fam.
Yeah.
I think it's like super dope and amazing that I can say I have a UK fam. Like that's crazy.
100%. 100%. We scour the world. We scour the world.
Touch base.
Indeed. And obviously we got Mr. Green Slime Hat, Mr. Mason in the house.
Hey, don't know.
What's good, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good, bro.
Sorry, people on IG, you can't see Mason, but DJ Mason's with us as well. I'm going to quickly update the IG. So if anybody who wants to tune into the YouTube stream, is going to be in my feed, in my bio. So just click the New Levels IG. Essence, you want me to send it to you too, so you can send it out?
Oh, so I have to update the one that's in my bio also?
Yeah, because the whole thing mash up.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys.
Sorry, I was so English there, innit? The whole thing just got destroyed. Mace, I'm gonna send it to you as well. So I was so sorry, guys, about the technical difficulties.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, we're rolling live now.
I mean, I'll just keep mine here because I see a lot of my followers and stuff are already here. My family is here, so
keep it here. All right.
No problem. We'll just keep it here because people love that accessibility. Let them. They're here.
Good.
I'm not even going to bother redirecting them. We've had enough delays.
Indeed. Again, apologies, guys. All right. What's good, Stacey? So let's start from the top. Where were you born and raised, and what was your childhood like? Like literally, we're gonna start from the top.
Oh gosh, this is funny because I haven't gotten asked this question yet. I don't do too many interviews, but so I'm a Jersey girl, but I'm from the suburbs.
Right.
It's actually like the black burbs, like it's like a suburban area. It's beautiful. It's like it's really dope, like to be like from like the suburbs, but it's literally like a black suburban community. Like everybody knows each other. It's like a very small town. I think there's only like 22,000 people that live here.
Oh, wow, that is small.
Yeah. Born and raised here. So
what was the name of the town, sorry?
I'm sorry?
What was the name of the town? You said the suburbs?
I'm from Willingboro. Willingboro, New Jersey. Yeah, Willingboro. You're gonna look it up and be like, oh, there it is.
No, the name rings a bell. The name rings a bell because you said
I'm literally like 15 minutes away from Camden.
Oh,
20 top, like this depending. Like, yeah, so it's like Pennsauken and then Camden.
You know, when you said that, I literally was for, oh right, you're Muswell Hill, like Muswell Hill, London. Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. But yeah, obviously, you're not here. You literally.
But yes, born and raised here. My childhood, it's not like one of those exciting stories where I can sit here and say like all my life, like my parents introduced me to the greats and showed me all the wonderful music that I was supposed to know. I didn't have that experience. Like music wasn't a big thing in my household. So it even amazes me how I'm so inclined. And that's how I know it's a gift, because it wasn't something that was taught or that I was like just introduced to, I didn't see that love for music growing up, and nobody in my family actually does music. I'm the only person in my family. Yeah.
So where do
nobody sings? And I started singing, like I realized I could sing like around the age of 9. I know when people say like, "Oh, I've been singing since I was a baby," but I feel like that's kind of like, that sounds kind of crazy. Like I didn't I knew that I could like control my vocals, and I knew the difference between the tones and pitches. Like I was like, oh, I could do this. I know what I'm doing. It was 9.
It was 9 before you knew. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then what was your actual inspiration then to start doing any of that stuff, or you literally, as you just said, stumbled across the fact that you could sing?
Well, I mean, honestly, okay, so the singing thing is just like my mom, she loves the Lord. We all love the Lord. I love Jesus. But I would always just sing gospel music, and I do, like, my mom would always have me like sing to all her girlfriends, like, oh, sing that Yolanda Adams song. So, and I would be so shy because if you listen to my music, like I'm not like a powerhouse vocalist. So to me, like growing up in those days, it's like, this is singing. So I never looked at myself as a singer because I couldn't do all those riffs and those runs, and I couldn't belt. So I always kind of like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not great. I'm not Whitney Houston. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a kid, it's crazy, but I really just admired all those that came before me. But like I said, I remember as a kid, my mom would have me sing for her friends or whatever. And every time I would sing music, because I got into songwriting when I was 13, but every time I would sing someone else's song, I would always catch myself like rearranging the chords, obviously to fit my vocal tone, and rearranging a song basically. And then eventually it would just be like a whole nother song.
So you're refixing on the fly basically.
Yeah, like I would just like, I'm readjusting so many things to fit my vocal abilities and what sound good or what I would have done if I'd have written it. You know what I mean? And I would find myself manipulating. I never emulate. You know how there's a lot of people like, I call them karaoke singers, like where you literally emulate exactly what the artist does. I personally hate that. So growing up, like as a kid, I would always like find myself manipulating these records and like, well, I would have did this
and that. Yeah.
And I think that's what birthed me into being the artist that I am.
So, I mean, I know that you like to refix because you dropped a song, Big Mama, which actually sampled one of my favorite songs. That's actually one of my favorite songs. And I mean, you could tell that you just like to take your own spin on things.
Yeah.
And the difference I always find with, what's it called? Between the States and the UK is the level of competition that we always see. I mean, Mace, do you agree? Like for me, their level of competition is different.
Oh yeah,
it's different. Like we just don't see it. Here's like, oh yeah, you can partake if you come second, you'll get a silver, which is still good. You guys are going for the jugular. You guys want that gold.
No, I think
all the time.
American culture is definitely about being the best.
Yeah.
It's not like that way out there. Is that not like a thing?
No, so it's a thing, but what you find in British culture is it's a lot of like just competing. Let's take part.
Just take part, just to take part.
Let's take part. It's more sort of like I can't find the right wording for it right now, but Americans are coming to kill. Like you guys are coming to kill. It's like everybody is gonna die.
Everybody's got a Kobe mentality. Like
that's what it is. So you guys have had like I feel like a stretch. A stretch of time where you've especially in sort of like in the music scene where because you've got to think, like, in terms of black people being in America, you guys have been there for quite a while, like a long time. Like blacks being in the UK, we've been here for some time, but not in the numbers that we now have.
Right.
So a lot of the culture, this is why there's been such like a boom of music in the last 5-10 years, because these people are like second generation black people that settled in the UK, and their parents are maybe African or Caribbean, and they've brought some of the flavor, and they've got into the music, and now it's really pushing. So I mean, we're going to be up there at some point. But in terms of that's kind of why you guys have maybe, I think you've got like quite a few steps, because growing up, I feel like we always used to look at the Americans for the music, because you guys just had so many stars. Whereas like we had stars, I mean, very good stars, but they weren't, you guys had an abundance of stars in America.
I will say this, like being from America in a place where it's just so saturated. And it's funny, like when people say like this thing with stars, and it's just like, oh, you're a star. It's just like, I feel like that term is like used so loosely, because like, yeah, there's several stars out there. Doesn't mean they all get discovered. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so much talent. And like, when I think about like the UK, like for me, at least personally, I'm like, you guys have some good people in the UK. Y'all have some great voices. I don't know what kind of vocals those are. I don't know if it's the water, because they don't really care about the water here. Y'all know what's up.
Evian.
Be steady drinking that Evian.
Listen, y'all must be drinking the Evian, the Fiji. I don't know.
While Kofi's sipping the Schweppes.
And you know what it is? Because you guys don't put all the bullshit in your foods and your waters, because we got all that junk in there. Yo, no lie. Like, my friend, he came from the UK, this is a couple years ago, and he had like regular like Mountain Dew. I don't know how he got all this stuff on the plane, but apparently you can put stuff in your carry-on or a certain amount of food, whatever. But he comes in like this, like all this food, like stuff that we have here. But I noticed that it didn't have half the shit that our stuff has. I'm like, why can't I just have regular Mountain Dew with pure cane sugar in it? No, ours has like a whole list of shit. I'm like, I just wanted that. With yours, y'all stuff has like 4 things in it, and that's it. You just get what you want.
But that's why our food is dry sometimes, isn't it?
No. I don't think our food is dry. Our food's protected.
American
food. There's American food. They could do pretty much.
You don't want it.
Like.
I don't trust it. Don't trust it. I live here. I don't even trust it. Every other day, I'm turning around questioning. At this point, I don't want to eat. I'm just going to throw it up in the air and hope that.
Listen, you know how I know like that shit was fucked up? Like, a couple of years ago, we went to Miami, and it's the first time I went into like a McDonald's in the US. When you see the size of their large meal, right? Their large meal is twice the size of our large meal. Like, these motherfuckers can eat. Like, I
don't eat that. I don't even know why you ever went to McDonald's. I don't eat fast food, especially McDonald's. Like, listen, don't eat McDonald's.
Yo, listen.
That goes out to my stepdaughter. I hope she's listening.
I've personally made it my thing to try in every country that I've been to. Like every country that
that's
I go
an English
to.
thing.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though.
I mean, I'm not out here banging the McDonald's every week. I don't really eat McDonald's when I'm at home, but like in Spain, yo, they had this thing called the triple chicken. It was the shit.
Triple chicken, what's that?
So it's like a McChicken sandwich, but they had 3 of them motherfuckers in there, and it was
like a
fire.
Big Mac McChicken
it's like
version, an extra layer.
Fire.
Wow.
This thing was layered.
Oh my God. It sounds good. Off. You know, speaking of that, all right, I don't want to drift too far off subject, but the rapper Saweetie, she's like always making like these fucking McDonald's sandwiches, and she has one of them is called like the McGangbang. You ever see her do it? No. And yo, it sounds crazy, but she sells that shit so much, and I'm like, I will dead ass go eat some McDonald's today, because she be making it look so good. Like, she'll get like, it's like she gets like a fucking crispy chicken sandwich and like a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, like French fries, all the shit, and she'll just like stack it all together, and she calls it a McGangbang, because you get it.
I get you. Oh my God! So listen, you got some wild artists out there. Like, I think our artists, our female artists anyway, the ones who rap, they're trying to emulate the female artists there, like your Saweeties, like your Megan Thee Stallions, like your Cardi B's, for example. My question is, where do you think a lot of you guys get your confidence from? Because there's some unerring, unmoving confidence that you guys have.
I think the confidence, I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, But for me personally, like my confidence is just comes from me knowing that like I'm me. Like there's only one me. Like I feel like when I do something, like no one's gonna do it exactly how, like nobody can do you the way that you do you. You get what I'm saying? I don't care how much someone, you can sit here and emulate someone to the T, but it doesn't have your exact essence. You know what I mean? So confidence comes from knowing that you're delivering something that no one has ever seen or felt before. So it's your job to literally get them to feel that shit. Like you sometimes you literally only have like that one shot to get people to like receive it, because everybody doesn't understand the first time around. But I feel like my mom always told me, like, she was like, you can have the ugliest outfit on, but she's like, if you know, she's like, because my mom always, she'd be like, Essence, you can wear rags and it's gonna, she just, and I guess that's why I'm so like free with like the way I dress and everything, is because my mom always says like, it's your confidence that sells something. Like it's like, if you don't know better, if you don't know better than me, like if you don't know any better, then I can convince you of anything. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah.
No, that's true. It's facts.
What like who are your influences in terms of music? So like in terms of like current artists, do you look at any of these current artists and you think like, wow, like I would like to be not like them but on the same platform as them at some point?
See, that's weird. It's like so tricky because like I don't listen to mainstream music. I appreciate, like, there's certain artists that I do appreciate, like yes, thank you, like the Her is, I love Her. She's just brilliant to me. I like Brent Faiyaz. There's a bunch of people.
A lot of noise, you know.
Hmm?
Brent's making a lot of noise. A lot of people this side don't know about Brent, but he's making a lot of noise.
Like, and that's the craziest thing to me, because there's like so many of like these artists out there, like, and it's just like, wow, like I feel like they should just receive so much love.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's so crazy, but like for me personally, like I don't really have any influences today. Like I don't look at anyone and say I want to sound like. If anything, I don't listen to music because it's very easy to be influenced. It's very easy for your sound to be influenced, like you subconsciously. Like if you're listening to something, next thing you know, you're kind of doing the same cadences and stuff like that. And I try to stay so as true to me as possible. There's things that I have done that I've been sitting on for years, which I should have been put out, but I'm super critical of myself. And then I'll hear someone else do it. I'm like, damn, that's going to sound like I'm copying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I did that years ago. So I appreciate the beauty in it and being able to see that someone else was thinking as, you know, on the same frequency as I am. But I do have like some influences from back in the day. Like I used to listen to a whole lot of Total. If you guys go back and listen to Total, no one ever mentions them, and I get angry. Like, what about Total?
You should have logged into remember our stream with Sard, Mace?
Yeah.
Like him, if we rewound this back to the 90s, I'm telling you, all you hear, all of his lists, I know him so well, is Total, SWV,
yes,
Eternal, and there's one other female group. Not
Brownstone, Groove Theory.
Brownstone was live. Brownstone was live.
Boy, man, sweet boy shit.
The guy was just nice, man. I was like, you're too nice, man, with all of this stuff.
I was supposed to be in the 90s.
You were supposed to be in the 90s. Oh yeah.
Like I don't know. Like it's just like, because like I listen to like the way my music sounds like, and I feel like for me as an artist, it's just like the instrumentation is current, but my vocal delivery, my approach, and the way that I write is very 90s nostalgic. Like it'll always be there in the tuck. Like you'll have that nostalgia come over you. And I think that it's a very intentional thing, because I feel like that's just like one of my favorite time periods. And that's like the time that I can connect with the most. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't give you any, because I don't get any of this stuff. Like I can't sit here and.
So my question is, like, looking back at the 90s, obviously, like you had, again, like it was an era where there's an abundance of talent, like good talent too, like really good artists in the 90s. Back then, you couldn't just squeeze in. Like you had to be up there to get in, right? Yeah. There were some gatekeepers back then. I feel like the gatekeepers died off already, and it's a free fall now. So, do you feel like nowadays, like the artists that sort of like make the most noise and sort of like show the most skin, do you feel like they're getting through rather than the artists that are like really talented and can actually do bits?
Yeah, absolutely. I do personally, like, and it's no shade to any of the artists, because I'm happy for whoever makes it, what's meant for you is meant for you. So however you're doing it, it was meant to be yours. But I do feel like that way. I feel like it's even crazy because even when I'm writing sometimes, or the things that I'm singing, it's like, that's why I'm really happy. Shout out to Jasmine Sullivan. I'm happy that she's having her moment now because she's been in it for such a long time, but she's a singer. And
100%.
She's a singer. So to be able to witness a true vocalist be able to still be able to carry that and that, translate with people, because people stop appreciating singing. Like, I remember there's a time where, like, I would be in a studio and someone tell me, like, I was singing too much. Like, what the fuck?
What do you want me to do?
And they're like, oh, well, people don't want to hear that. And I'm not a conformer. You're not, that's not me. I'm independent to the day I die. Okay. Because I don't conform. Like, I'm not about to, you're not going to sit here and tell me, like, that's not what people are doing. I don't try to fit any kind of mold or standard when it comes to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause then it's not me. There's a conflict within myself, and I can't fully deliver if that exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think it's changing the times though? Like, obviously, like nowadays, people kind of like, back then, people like, people were serious about like, like love and like their soul and shit. Like, people are a little bit more like raw. Nowadays, everybody wants to be kind of more like, I feel like a little bit gangster and shit. So
you know what it is? It was because back in the day, your image was more of, that's when there was like there was arts development in the industry. And everything you did, like, your image was protected. Like, if you did anything wrong, there's someone that's going to rescue your image. Like, oh, we got you covered. Like, and there was a certain image that you had to portray. So you were essentially walking like on eggshells. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be this person. You have to be presentable at all times. But nowadays, people are free to be themselves, which I think there's a beauty in that. I think it's great that people are free to express themselves. But at the same time, I feel like there's no borders. Like, there's no restrictions. It's just like whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think there's not a balance to it anymore.
I mean, I feel like some of these people are being themselves. I just feel like, from sort of like a wider perspective, it's extreme. Like, something's extreme. I can look at some of it, and I can look at some artists, and I just think, yo, that's a little bit too much. Like, yo, come on. But I definitely feel like some of these artists are not being themselves, and they pick a personality and they just run with it.
Yeah, like people, and being an artist, like, I witnessed that myself. Like, and it's like, oh, this is a real thing. Like, even when it comes down to like my hair, like, I'll have people. It's really crazy. Like, I know it sounds like really silly, but I'm like, no, this is the thing. Like, people really, when you step into like this realm, because essentially it's like, if you're here, people look at it like you're stepping into our world, even though you feel like, no, I'm inviting you into mine. They feel like it's almost like you feel like, look, I can't even wear my hair. If I change my hair, people inbox me and be like, why did you change the blue? We like the blue. Like, they want you to be a character. And I'm just like, I'm not, that was just for a thing, that's not like, I'm not a character person either. Like, I change up, like, just like, I'm too broad. There's too much of me to limit it to just being one thing all the time. You get what I'm saying? But that's the thing. People really want you to, if you do something and people run with it, like, we want that. And it's up to you whether or not, like, you're willing to do exactly what, because you can't please everybody. So even though it could be about 10,000, I could have 10,000 followers and 8,000 I'm saying, like, we all want you to wear pink hair all the time. Are you really going to go with doing a pink hair because those 8,000? But then there's 2,000 other people that don't agree with you. You're never going to be able to please everybody. So ultimately, I always choose to do what I want.
Do you think you would have been happier as an artist if you were in sort of like the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do.
I think so. You can tell by Essence's replies. It's all. I was listening to Drink Champs, Busta Rhymes Drink Champs. You watch Drink Champs at all, Essence?
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening to Busta Rhymes Drink Champs, and he was saying something about how it was all originality from early 90s right up until literally 99. And you can tell everything about you is that. And unfortunately, this is one of the debates me and Mason have all the time. It's what is music these days? Is it everybody copying Cardi B in the female scene, or is it everybody trying to rap like Migos and Future in the male scene? Or I call Drake the culture vulture, innit? Because he jumps on everything and
For sure.
bites everything, but
No,
he does it. He does it
listen,
well. He does
listen.
it well. I'm not even gonna hate on him.
It's not Drake's fault. Ain't nobody out here pulling up Drake about him doing what the fuck he's doing.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Ain't nobody out here pulling up Drake's.
No, but I'm just
I
saying
mean,
he's a
and
culture
especially the
that's
fact
it.
that he comes in and he does it so good. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, bro.
We'll allow him.
Do your thing. Like shit.
Yeah, we'll allow
Like
him.
do your thing. It is what it is, isn't it? So yeah, and I hear that. But I kind of feel like the music industry for a while just became like, because obviously like from not played in clubs for about a year now because of COVID and shit, but it just started to get a bit repetitive. Like everything started sounding the same, and then after a while, you're up there like, and I'm quite, in a way, I'm kind of happy that COVID happened because I'm kind of like shit.
Yeah.
I needed a breather because someone said you become this zombie because it's like, you know what, you got a job to do, and there's a line where you try and keep your shit together. I try and throw them some shit that I like, but then I know I can't throw them too much of the shit I like because I'm gonna have to throw them some shit they like because I'm getting paid to do a job, and if the people in there are looking for a certain thing,
that's right.
That's what the fuck I've got to do. So, but after a while, that becomes a little bit soul destroying. I'm not gonna lie. And we've had a few artists actually on the show, people like yourself, who, like I said before, a little bit refreshing because it's like they're more original.
Artists.
Yeah, they're more artists, and it's like it's good to see that rather than people just jumping on the same fucking, everyone's on the same beats, the same fucking. It's just like, yo,
it's tough. It can be tough though. I feel like it's definitely been like a very tough journey for myself. Like I'm still in the process of like figuring things out. Like I don't have like, a team or anything like that. I'm literally in this place where I just like, I love music. And I don't know if like my idea of success, I don't know if it's unrealistic. To me, it's not.
Everything's realistic, darling.
I could be narcissist. I don't know. I just feel like I'm someone that just genuinely loves music, and I couldn't not create it if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally, it's so weird. Like I could be like sleep or like halfway asleep, like something's on, I'm still kind of like,
you're vibing something,
moving and vibing, like, or like I dream about me, like it's like the weirdest thing. Like you literally, you can't make it up. Like it's just like it's something that's been given to you. Like you've been chosen. Like you can't make this up. Like you can try to run away from. Like I don't want it. It's too much. Because I feel like that a lot. But it just you literally just have to. For me, it's a spiritual thing where I really have to ask God, like, what do you want me to do with this? Because I feel like it's bigger than me a lot of the times. Like I know it's bigger than me. I know my gift is bigger than me. I know that I'm meant to give it back and to reach others, and I want to do it in the right way. I don't want to do it my way. You know what I mean? I want to do it in a way where it makes people feel something real. It makes them feel. I don't want to just make people feel like they want to go out and have sex and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's if I feel like that in a moment, I might release something like that, but that's not what it's like all about for me. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to feel something a little bit deeper that causes them to create a conversation within themselves and to dig in themselves a little bit deeper. So for me, it's really important. But
I heard you say earlier that sometimes you think of stuff or you'll make something and then like you might not do it and then you see someone else do it. What holds you back from doing that? Like what holds you back from actually going out there and just say, I'm gonna throw this out there and put it on a platform and just let people hear it?
I'm sorry, my homeboy, his name, it says Audio God. He's amazing.
It's good, Audio God.
Like it's just crazy. Like I literally like broke out to a sweat when I saw him because that's somebody that I really look up to a lot. Like he's like a great mentor for myself. Like he's an engineer and a producer he's my brother, but he just entered on IG and now I'm looking at him. But he knows how I am. I'm super critical of the quality of things. Like the sound, like I know, like, some things take time, but I'll sit on something, I'm like, the sound's not right. And you find yourself trying to perfect something where, like, instead of just allowing it to get to that point, like, I literally came out the gate, like, trying to have top quality, like, I'm Beyonce. Like,
yeah.
That's, like, but in my, like, my mind's always thinking on, like, this grandeur level, because why not, right?
Why not? If you're gonna go for it big, innit?
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like, no, like sonically, it doesn't sound as pleasing as it could. So I'm constantly like going back to shit and reworking things and wanting to like.
Do you feel like you're constantly working for like the perfect sound?
Yeah, and there's no such thing because there's really no such thing but automatically like I have to feel it. Like I have to feel like sometimes I'll create a record and then I'll listen to it and I'm like I could have taken those ad-libs out. Maybe it's too busy or maybe it's not enough going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just different things. And for whatever reason, I sometimes I sit on shit. And honestly, like I could have been put out like my EP or my album, whatever it's probably an album at this point. But I can't record it.
How many songs?
That's the problem. It's like I can't shut the fuck up.
Do you ever think you just maybe throw it out there on like one of those platforms like SoundCloud or something and just let people sort of like throw some criticism at it or maybe some praise and just see how it goes?
SoundCloud in the past has not been a friend to me. I didn't even still like I do fairly well on Apple Music. Spotify is like, I'm just like I said, I'm still trying to figure things out with that. Like I know my problem is just like people not knowing that I exist. You get what I'm saying? Getting people to know that this artist is out there. Like nobody, so much going on. So like for me, like I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be completely honest. Since you said on this show we keep it 100, right?
Keep it 100.
My biggest thing is like me feeling like because I put so much love into my work, and because like the unsuccess of like my previous works, like I'm afraid that as I continue to advance, because with every record, every song that I do, I feel like I'm constantly advancing, evolving. I don't want that same. I don't want the same outcome. Like I feel like to me, it's like I'm constantly pouring out and I'm putting so much out, and it's not being heard. Like so, I feel like it almost feels like it's a waste of time to me.
But the thing is,
for no one to hear, like it's heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie, like my heart gets broken every time. Like, damn, no one heard it. Like no one knows, no one's seen it still. So that's what holds me up. I don't feel like I want to release it because I'm afraid. Like it's like.
I mean, you like you said, and Kofi just said as well. Like you don't have that team behind you to put you in the places.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not really getting naked and shit. So. So it's like
it sounds like she's starting OnlyFans or something.
No, but you know what I mean.
They're not filming the chest tattoos. Not enough.
You don't have enough tattoos and shit.
I don't got enough.
You're not coming out grabbing the crotch and shit. So like that strategy seems to work. And obviously you're probably a little bit reluctant to do that because you're trying to keep it 100. But I don't think you should put too much pressure on yourself. It's just you're just in a position where you're not being heard. I think at some point you're going to get heard by the right person, and then that's all you need. That's all you need. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's all. A lot of artists like similar to yourself that are just keeping it real and trying to put out real shit. They just need to be heard by the right people at the right fucking time. Yeah. Some people have a different strategy, like I said, where they go about, they make a lot of noise. But then once you start down that road, it's very difficult to come back. Right. So if you break out and you're that, oh yeah, I'm out here, I'm doing all of this shit.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it.
Now you gotta keep it up. Keep that energy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep that energy. And that probably destroys a lot of people because I've seen artists in the past. Like Pink. Pink is a prime example of someone who...
Do not get me started.
Who managed it well, though. She managed it well, though.
Don't get me started.
She came out with a certain energy.
I don't care, yeah? I still listen to that album to this day. At least once a year, I will put out that Split Personality was one of the best R&B albums I've ever heard.
I'm going to have to check that out. Because you put your stamp on it. So...
Hold on, you haven't listened to Pink's very first album?
I've listened. Listen, it was so long ago. Like I can't sit here and say I've listened to it in recent times, so where I remember. Of course, I've heard it, but not when it came out. I'm like, I'm young. I was a kid. There's so much stuff that I can appreciate now as an adult, and now that there's things that I've been singing since I was a kid, and when it comes on now, I'm like, damn, what the hell was like this song? Yeah. Like, you know what
fine. I agree with that. I just love that album. I think that album was just ridiculous.
Nah, listen, I feel betrayed, man. Like, yo, she came through
R&B.
With a certain level of energy, and I was just like, where the fuck did that go? Like, what happened?
Out the door went,
I think it's from Philly too.
coming out, so you gotta get his body started. That's where it went.
Love that song. I'm coming out. I'm coming.
Yeah, that's a big song though. This lady's beautiful. Ah, you got compliments coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Yenny, what's good, Yen?
Yes, Yen.
She was actually on the show a couple of weeks ago.
So Yen, one of my homeboys got in some problems. I sent Yen's details over to my homeboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You legit did?
He needed to talk to Yen, bro.
Imagine she's a criminal lawyer.
Yeah. He needed to have a conversation with Yen. I was like, yo, hit her up.
Hit her up. She'll help you out, man.
She'll help you out.
Damn, she kept to 100.
I do want to say that the people in UK, like, you guys are so great because I don't know what it was when I released my video for Aries. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. I ran like these ads over in the UK, and the love that I received, I'm like, this is where I need to be because y'all get me over there. Like, y'all love real R&B, like y'all love real music, and I've never received that kind of love before. It's like the first time once I tapped into you guys' market, I felt like I can do this. Here is so much harder. Like, I'll run ads simultaneously, side by side, like here, and I'll target, like, where it says that most of my listeners come from, or like, locally. It doesn't compare.
No,
not at all. Like, it's totally different. Like, people here, like, they don't want to hear it. Like, it's like there's people here, but I haven't found them yet. Like, they definitely want to hear what's going on the radio. Like, they want that fast sing rapping, and this music to me is like very blunt and it's very vulgar these days, even for singers.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain way of singing, like, where you can say what you mean and get your point across, but to where you still maintain your some sort of, like, your like, like, I don't know. I'm just not. Maybe I'm a different kind of girl.
I'm not gonna lie though. When What's Her Face dropped Pussy Fairy, I was like, yo, this shit bangs. I like that. Yo, I was like, oh, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna secretly listen to this and not tell no one I like this shit.
And they did that. Again, I love Pussy Fairy, and it's crazy because, like, it's records like that. Like, and there's little things that I'll say, like, even if you listen to Aries, like, people listen to it. Like, I remember my homeboy hit me up. He was like, "You're talking nasty," but I'm just like, really not. So I couldn't imagine I had created a Pussy Fairy. Like, they're like, "Are you all right?" People will probably think something's wrong.
Do you think, like, one of the reasons why you don't say that stuff as much is because you've obviously got two children? Do you think, like, that's sort of like a subconscious thing that keeps you from going down that road?
I mean, I say it. I just feel like there's a certain way of saying it. Like, I say things like, some of my songs I'm talking about, doing all sorts of fun things.
Yes.
It's just the way that I say it,
Talk the things them.
They're real nice. Like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna want to go home, and you're gonna want to do that.
Them ones, okay.
But there's a way of saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not like, I'm just not gonna say it. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if I can't say it casually in conversation, I'm probably not gonna put it in a song like that. Like, I'm not gonna come up to something, hey, not clockwork, fuck it. Like, I can't. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. Just in regular conversations, so I sing a very beautiful conversation.
Right. No, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to talk to me. I don't want you. Imagine if you're a man, right? And the songs that I'm singing is the conversation. You might be like, I don't know if I want to see this girl again. She's a little bit upfront.
I mean, listen, like I said, that seems to be the play. We live in an age where, like, women and the way women are viewed is changing quite. I mean, probably for the best, because I think for a long time, like, the image of women has been kind of put in the wrong place.
Yeah, it has.
And there's a lot of women now that about that life. They want to be that person that's, yo, are we doing this or no? Like there's a lot of people out there. So I kind of think that it reflects where some women are at this time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I know women like that, like, in real life. Like, I've had conversations, not that I can sit here and say that I agree, but I have conversations with several women where I'm just like, do you believe in that double standard? Even when it comes down to that standard, like, well, men do it. I personally don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe that's okay for either, but I still feel like women should hold themselves to higher that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. I mean, it's the same, but it's different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I feel about that. But I do love the fact that, like, because we never asked to be placed on that sort of pedestal. You get what I'm saying? It's like we never asked to. So when certain things are frowned upon, and you're just like, oh, look at her. Like, I wear my breast out. If you guys see me, like, I'm unashamed of my body. I'm very body conscious. I love my femininity. I love being a woman. So anything about like the human anatomy and stuff, someone can look at it and be like, you're showing. To me, I don't even see them that way. Like, I forget that they're even out. You know what I mean? So like, that's how little I regard them. Like, it's just like they're just mounds of meat. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, why are you all breaking a sweat over some breast? I think that people just really like, if you relax a little.
We've got this thing at the moment. Obviously, I've been touching on it quite a bit, where like we do have this. I don't know what to call it, but a lot of women kind of are quite body positive in a way, and they want to express themselves. But my personal opinion is that some people hide behind that and use that in the wrong way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like it's your body. You could do whatever the hell you want to do to it, like, at the end of the day. But I think, especially in the music industry, because obviously we're trying to keep the conversation musical.
As much as we can.
I feel like a lot of artists do come out and they try and throw that as sort of like a leverage for themselves.
Because sex always sells. Always going to sell.
Always.
But yeah, it's always going to sell. And like, I feel like everything musically, I feel like you can just put it plainly into like everyday life. Like, the advice that I give some of my girlfriends is to lead with your character, not with your body. Like, that's how I am. Like, I feel like guys are, if you're meeting a new guy, like, they're gonna. Yeah, it's easy for someone to like your body, you know, because it's the first thing you see. Like, you probably won't see this person again. But if you really like how they look, okay, I definitely like how you look, so I definitely want to see you again. But is your character enough for them to actually want to genuinely be around you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, when it comes to people in the industry, I feel like some people leave with their bodies because their talent isn't enough to carry it over.
Right.
Or it's easier to help, just like, let me throw this cherry on top, because you know that it's just easy to have this, for some people to have that little extra.
Easy, yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Why do you think so much has been lost in the art form, though, of like being a true artist? Why do you think that's all of a sudden just gone?
Because it's been allowed. It's been accepted.
Yeah, that's true.
Simply what it is. It's just because it's been allowed, because there was a time when it just wasn't allowed. Like, you go back to like the 60s, like when your parent, like, before you had all this computed and fancy shit to throw on vocals and stuff, like, it didn't exist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just times have just evolved, and someone in the higher up said, this is what we're doing. We're going to become more lenient, and it's allowed. And because it's allowed, you're welcome in. Like, you get in.
Do you think T-Pain screwed it up for everyone else?
Oh God, poor T-Pain.
We're not gonna blame T-Pain.
Poor T-Pain. But the thing is, everybody says that, but you had like Zapp and Roger before that, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zapp and Roger were doing the same thing.
No, because T-Pain T-Pain was necessary for our time here. I love T-Pain.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I don't know what life would have been without a T-Pain, because he made music so fun. Like, I personally don't like autotune, but he did it in a fun way. Like, it was intentional. So there's people who actually rely on autotune, and there's some people who just use it as an effect because it sounds fun, and it makes you feel something a little different. I think that T-Pain was definitely necessary for that period of time. I don't think that T-Pain can get it off now, just because I don't want to say that. I'm sorry, T-Pain.
I think what we're losing though with like that stuff is because before COVID we had a ton of music festivals in the UK. I don't know how, like, do you guys do a lot of music festivals over there?
We do. Yeah, we do.
And every summer is just music festival after music festival. And we've had someone on the show that he runs his own music festival. The music festival thing is a big part of the culture here in the UK. But what you find is some of your favorite artists, they're great when you listen to them like on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, but you get hold of them live.
Yeah.
And they're just trash.
Horrible.
And they're just trash. And I think that's kind of partly to blame on some of the technology that we've got, because these guys,
absolutely, you get away with murder. Like it's crazy. I can't put it any other way than the fact that it's just crazy. Like it's just like you literally can do anything with technology.
It sounds like we're bashing artists at the moment. I don't want to bash these people.
I
feel like we're bashing them at the moment. I don't want to bash them. I don't want to.
We're not bashing, but I just feel like it's like I said, just to set apart like the differences between the different groups of artistry. I can say that it's so easy for some people. It's much easier that do that, because I can say that there's been times where I've been in the studio. I'm like, I say for instance, I've been sick and I couldn't hit a note. Like an engineer will offer to be like, "Oh, I can fix it." No, I don't want you to fix it. Like, I think that's crazy. Like, no, I want to do the work. Like, you have to do the work. There's there's a beauty in doing the work. And I feel like too many people are comfortable with not putting in that work. And I'm not just talking about like the getting up early. I'm talking about actually putting in the work as being an artist, like really just sitting there and saying like, you're doing like so much shit from scratch. Aside from the business, like, are you really putting in that work as an artist, like really working your gift? I feel like that's almost like non-existent.
Who do you think like currently puts in the work? I mean, obviously Beyonce is way up there because she's just
of course, like she's like legendary.
But she's not even in the conversation. We might as well just
right.
put her to one side. But apart from her, who else do you think is, as an artist, puts that work in and has a really, really good, strong, natural voice?
A really good, strong, natural voice that I could say. I mean, I don't know what your definition of putting in the work. There's just a lot of people that I definitely, like I said, I really just enjoy. I would say, for me, I feel like putting in the work is just to say that you're an artist and you're creating your art at your own pace, and every time that you go to release it, it's done in such a beautiful and organic way. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll always go back to like the scissors and the hers, like, they're not, you don't see them like in your face every day or doing the most on the gram. You get what I'm saying? And when they release, it's just so beautiful. Like they can take those hiatuses because they're coming back with something so worthwhile. Your Cali Euclid is like, I think she's amazing. I don't know if I pronounced her name like correctly. Chloe and Haley, they're amazing. Like they are true artists. Like they're so beautiful. Do you know the sisters?
No.
Chloe and Haley?
Kofi might.
There's two sisters with the locks in their hair.
Beyond me.
I'm sorry?
No, I'm
not. You don't know? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you heard me. Yeah, they're amazing. Like you look them up, like
I'm gonna have to check them out.
You have to. Like they're sisters, and like they're like probably like a year apart. But I mean, they're powerhouse vocalists. Like it's insane. But there's I would say a bunch of artists. Even when it comes to like a bunch of rappers, most of the music that I listen to is not like the mainstream music. Like I'm a huge St. John fan, and A Child, they're rappers and stuff like that. Like I love them. I've been listening to St. John since way back.
The thing is, it's like he's getting a lot of play, but he's been doing bits for a while.
For a very long time.
He's been doing bits for a while, and I'm just like, damn, like this guy is just, and that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is
he's like one of a kind. He's unique. No one sounds like him.
Yeah, he's dope.
That's all I stand. No one.
You're like, hey, I'll defend this man. I know him. Like, yeah, he's crazy. He's a really, really good artist. Obviously, the Lev3ls platform. I'm sure Kofi would agree as well, because the events that get thrown on get a lot of talent, a lot of good, strong, natural artists. And if you lived in London, it would have been great.
I wish
it would have been great to have you at one of the Lev3ls events, throwing down and do your thing. It would have been awesome. But I mean, you're across the pond. Maybe we could do like a live stream one day or something, like try and get the vocals crack-a-lacking and just stream it.
Are your borders open now? Like to
Nah.
Yeah, see, look, you're not even letting us in. Like,
nah. I mean, you could come in. We just can't leave.
oh, so we can come in still.
Yeah.
Like, no, we can't leave. They can come in. Like,
Yeah. It's crazy. It's illegal for us to leave, but other
how
people.
privileged.
Yeah, it's just.
That's crazy to me. Like,
yeah. Welcome to the UK, man.
well,
That's what happens. Hold on, Kofi. Where's your vocal? Where's your
What?
Yeah.
Oh, for a second, I thought I lost you, man.
No, I'm here. I'm here. But what I was trying to say was, but she can come and stay, but she has to stay in a hotel, pay about what, $3,000 just to be quarantined in a hotel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not messing with y'all. And
yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. No. It's a joke. It's a joke thing here now. It's absolute joke, but.
No, but it's a joke thing because when other artists reach out to me, like for a collaboration, and then they say like, how much, and I give them my rates, and in my mind, I'm thinking, you got it.
Yeah.
Like, if I say $1,000, I'm like, that's only about what 700. You got it, 700.
£700? Nah.
You're good. Like it's like you're making
everybody
out.
Is broke.
Do you do a lot of bits like locally in New Jersey and stuff like?
Not in New Jersey. I do a lot of. Well, I did not recently, but I was doing a lot of bits like in Philadelphia, New York area. I do want to like definitely like tour and travel more. I love performing. I really do. Like the bigger the crowd, the better. Like I get kind of nervous in front of like small crowds. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but I don't like small crowds. But big crowds, I love them.
Do you feel like you vibe off the energy with the?
Yeah, like about the energy. It's just like I mean, I still give like a great performance every time, but like smaller crowds just make me feel like I'm like in this like small confined space. Like I feel like I don't have like enough room. I don't know what it is. It just feels like all the room is small and like we're all in the same space, and it kind of creeps me out.
Fair.
But intimacy is good. I really do love intimate gigs. Like if I'm with my guitar player, I can accomplish anything. But if it's just me and like the instrumentation, it's just like it fills up too much of the room, and then there's not a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? But it's different if you have the acoustics, kind of like you know.
Do you play any instruments yourself or?
I don't. It's really weird because I can barely like tap at the same time, and like if I try to get a rhythm going, like it's hard for me to like my brain doesn't process it.
So just a real quick one. Oh, actually, can you hear me still?
Yeah. I can.
Just a real quick one. Who you said you don't have many influences, but if you had to like kind of model your sound around or try model your sound around somebody, so I'm so tired. Who would it be?
It's really hard because no one ever says that I sound like anyone.
No, you don't.
So it's really weird. Like if I had to model my sound around anyone, I don't know. I guess I would say I can't answer that. I literally have no idea. I don't think that. And it's not to sit here and say like, oh, I'm so great. Like no one sounds like. I literally don't think that I guess if you were to listen, if you were to, I would say if we can go with genre and style of music, I would say that you would probably throw me into like the same categories as like your Aaliyah and stuff like that. Like
Oh, sorry, you just mentioned Aaliyah or Beyonce.
Aaliyah, I'm not a Beyonce.
You can't even put them both in the same combo.
You can't. Though. But for me, listen,
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you a clear. It's like for me, I really love a laid back. I love really chill, like laid back vocal, like just vibey music. If it's too much going on for me like that, I just can't really connect. I've never, and I love Beyonce. Beyonce is like the greatest, like one of the greatest of all times, like hands down. So it's not taken away from me. I've just never been like, I've never been in a car at any moment and said I want to hear a Beyonce song. It doesn't do anything for me personally. I don't know what it is. Like I'm more of a Sade person. Like if we were to say Sade or Shaka Khan, like I'm gonna say Sade. Like I just love the laid back approach to her music. Like her just the way that she floats on it. It just resonates with me much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how I am. Like, I'm really chill. I'm a really chill person. And while I can appreciate the beauty in all of those things, those are just the things that resonate with me more.
Do you obviously, like, we have a pretty decent music scene over here in the UK now. It's gotten better and it keeps getting better. There's more and more artists every week. But do you have any artists in the UK that you listen to?
Oh yeah, I think Sinead Harnett. I believe that she's from the UK, and Georgia Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I listen to them. I can't remember. There's a lot of artists that I follow on Instagram, but they're independent artists. Super amazing. I listen to, like I said, like a lot of like independent artists. But as far as like mainstream artists in the UK, there's this girl, also an artist. Her name is Nia Grace. She's not from the UK, but she currently lives in the UK. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her.
What's her name?
Nia Grace.
No, haven't heard of her.
She's amazing. She's like independent, but she's like extremely well for herself. But most of the artists I listen to, like from there, they're like independent. But
I think well, what you're talking about with almost like the art form being like kind of just thrown out the window and all these independent artists, that's the whole point that we wanted to try and create levels.
yeah.
Because I mean, the music that you sing, you're right, does not get enough shine, but there's enough people that actually still really like that music.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, like, I'm 32, I can only speak for myself. I don't know if the 30 pluses are the main age group that want that, and the people who are below 30 don't actually necessarily want to hear the music. And I think that's probably what's taken over. I mean, do you still think then there's a need kind of then for, this is me questioning my own brand, funny enough. Do you think there's a need for a levels then because it's only catered towards such a specific niche, as to say, rather than the wider audience?
I definitely feel like it's absolutely a need for levels. It's just highlights.
Good answer.
Like, absolutely. I feel like it's one of the greatest things that I've stumbled upon, because a lot of times you guys post artists, and these are the artists that people want to hear. Like I said, it's a matter of people even being able to see what you guys are presenting. You get what I'm saying? If more people got to, it's such a treat every time. Like even from the fashion that you guys post, I feel like it's just such a beautiful thing to even know that it exists out there. You know what I mean? Because you don't always want what is put in your face all the time, over and over and over again. You get what I'm saying? So when you guys present different artists to us, I think it's just like, it's a blessing. It's like such a treat. And I think it's necessary, because even when you're saying that it's like to a particular niche, I look at like my like analytics, like when I'm looking at who's listening to my music, and surprisingly, like I have like, it'll say like 18 to 24 is on there, and I'm like, okay, well, kids, to me, 18, 24, like they listen. Kids are still listening. I don't know.
There's still some decent kids out there. I mean,
like I'm like, okay, like it's really surprising, because you're not doing any of that TikTokish trend stuff. Like I'm saying, I don't mean to say like that. Like I said, I get and I understand all of it, but for me to realize like that they're there for them to show up, it's just like, okay, I'm not doing any of those things. So where do they come from? You have to find more of that audience. You have to figure out how to broaden that audience that's already there. Like, it exists. So it's like trying to find more of those people.
And the thing is, I think that's why I personally love NPR's Tiny Desk so much.
Yeah, I want to get on there.
Oh, you will. I mean, when the borders open, you'll jump on the Levels Lounge. I promise you that.
Absolutely, I am.
Because we've got some real exciting stuff coming up. But that's, again, going back to NPR. That's why I like them so much, because they shine that light. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're much bigger scale than we are, and we're trying to go real grassroots. But I agree. I mean, that's why I'll do it. Obviously, I think it is needed. I just think sometimes with the amount of people or artists that just flood the music industry, I think it drowns you guys out sometimes, and that's what annoys me. And you're talking about how you release some music and it never got heard, and you don't want to go back to that. And that's what we kind of want to just shift that notion, because you probably got a whole back catalogue of amazing music, which I haven't released. Nobody's heard it.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad. And that's what's sad. That's what we want to just kind of push out a little bit more at the end of the day.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys for even trying to, that's a big task to take on. I don't know if you guys realize how big of a task that is, but it's big.
No idea, but we try, innit?
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea how big it is.
It's a big task, but day by day, innit? Bit by bit.
Yeah, but it's necessary to you. I feel like you guys are definitely doing what you feel means something to you. It means something. You guys wouldn't be doing it if you didn't feel like it's necessary, like to continue to push the culture forward and to shift the narrative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's a need for good music.
There is a need, a huge need, because, like I said, at the moment we're dealing with paperback songs. When you go to the shop and they give you that. I don't know how old you are, but you go to the shop, they give you that paper bag and all your fucking shopping falls out.
Yeah,
that's the kind of music that we're dealing with right now.
100%. Yo, Mason, did I ever tell you the story about once when I was DJing and I played Luck and Neat Master Blaster?
Yeah.
Fine. Sorry, Essence. Do you know UK Garage? Have you heard of UK? Fine. It's like
a genre. He's like
garage.
It's like
yeah. Sorry, garage.
Garage.
Garage. Yeah, that one.
We'll talk about that later. But go on.
So basically,
I got you.
There's a UK garage group or duo called DJ Luck and MC Neat. And do you know Stevie Wonder's song? What did he cover? What was Master Blaster a refix of? We'll be jamming into the break of dawn. Jamming.
Yeah. What's my song right there?
Huh?
I love that song.
Yeah. So put it this way. They made a remix of that song in like 2000 and 2001. I was DJing and I played that garage version first. And then I played the Stevie Wonder. And I had somebody come up to me and say, yo, I like this version. Is this the remix? Talking about the Stevie Wonder version. Right? I was there like, I wanted to tell him to get the hell out. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, just get out. But obviously I didn't. But that shows, as I was saying, the level, like, music is just being recycled, but people have no idea where it's coming from. Yeah. As I said, like, you and Big Mama using one way, I was just like, yes, this one knows.
I have no idea what song that you're saying that it referenced though.
Big Mama, you don't know the original.
I'm going to tell you the backstory behind this song. See, we're being honest on the show, right? Because you said it earlier.
Listen, I'm telling you, the song is One Way. Don't Stop Loving Me.
But who's the artist? One Way.
One Way. They're like from the early '80s.
I'm not familiar, but I'm going to look it up as soon as we get done with this interview.
Yeah,
because now I have to know because the reason why this song came about is because like this artist recently, his name is Akeem Ali. He like released. Have you heard this song? It's called Kimi Casanova.
No.
I'm gonna stop. Listen, I'm really giving a lot of people a bunch of free shout outs today. I don't think anybody mentions my name this much in the room, but I'm gonna carry on.
Exactly. Do that. Support.
He's super dope. He's a rapper, and he's like from like I want to say he's like from like Tallahassee. I don't know. He's from Mississippi. Forgive me. Long story short, he released like this super dope song, and I'm just like, and he's really on some like pimp shit. Like he's like, whoever knew that someone could talk to you like a pimp as a woman, and you'd be like, damn, I like how that sounds.
That's how these pimps get their job.
Talking to me, but like. He's talking like on some. He's rapping and he's like really like just talking. I mean, he finessed the hell out of this song. I've never heard anything like it. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it for fun and put my own spin on it. It was just for fun. Like it was his song. He's doing super well with his music now. And I reached out to him. We like conversed back and forth. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like do like a little remix to your record. And I just did it for fun. I set up like this little space in my living room, and I shot the video with 2 of my IG friends.
That was your living room. That's a big space.
It was my living room. Yeah, I just bought like fabric from like the fabric store and I pinned it up on my wall. I styled myself and the 2 young ladies, and like I literally did everything. That was my mom in the video and my daughter. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it literally was like playing the video like 2 days. Like 2 days, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot this video, and then the way that I work, like my work ethic, like it's like dangerous, but it works. Like I'm the type I work very well under pressure.
Wow.
I work the best under pressure. Like if I want to do something, I'm like, yeah, we got 24 hours. All right, like
let's do it. Nah, legit. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna see something. Can you see that?
I can see it a little bit.
All right. I'll play it. And really quickly, and you see where it come from. Honestly, it's one of my favorite. You know Warren G, right? You must know Warren G.
Of course. Warren G.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Warren G even used this track. He used this track back in for his Regulate album. One Way, Don't Stop. I was giving you so much credit, and then you told me you didn't even know the song. God damn.
I know. Let's just rewind and forget that I said that.
God damn it. I'm gonna play some YouTube ad. I swear to God, I hate these YouTube ads. They're trying to force me to buy premium. Okay, hold on, listen. Can you hear that?
Oh, you.
Oh.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then this is the part that you sampled at the end. Yeah.
Wow.
That's your song. And honestly, it's one of my favorite songs. I was like, this girl knows.
Wow. Okay. I'm sad that I don't know. I didn't know better. Like I should have known that. I feel like it's something I should have.
No, I'm old. It's all right. I'm just old.
No, we're the same age. I mean, I'm not 32, but we're close. I'm a little younger. Same thing. But you're not old. But I will say this is like that is probably when that sample clearance stuff is really real. Like as an independent artist, like when you're working with instruments and producers are sending you shit, you don't even know what you're doing. You can get tied to so much things because you don't even know what they're sampling, and you're responsible for that. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine if I had released that, like, and it would have done very well. Like, I had no idea that was a sample from something. Like, you know,
someone would have came for that check.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want you to come knock on my door.
Someone would have come for that check. You know, people are just waiting for that excuse to come. Hey, let me get that money,
please. $500,000, please. Thank you.
Let me get that money.
I was waiting for someone to do this.
Like, I wish
that's how people always say, like, Kanye's albums must cost a fortune. Like, seriously, he samples the hell out of shit, man. Like, yo. Yeah. And I'm talking like major artists as well. Like, he samples some big boys. Like, so someone somewhere is getting some money from Kanye.
Oh, look at Yeezys. I mean, that's making him enough money as well, so it's all good. He can afford it.
He got it.
He can afford it.
I think that guy's a genius. I think he's definitely a genius.
There's a bunch of people that I looked at, like, as far as producers that I feel like are geniuses. Like, I was so obsessed with Pharrell, like, in the Neptunes, and like, I think Pharrell, man, I could just like cry.
Really?
And Timbaland and like Missy Elliott, like.
Oh, Missy and Timbo, they were the hottest. And
the best, like.
Because you said Total as well, because Timbo was involved in that shit as well.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yeah, I mean, Total, like, just like everything about them. I think that they were just such a beautiful group, and like they were such their own individuals. Like Pam was my favorite, the dark skinned one with the short hair. Like, yo, you can't. And then, like I said, like going back to what I said earlier, I'm just like, I can't believe like when you hear like people with musical inspiration, nobody mentions them. Like I will say that they heavily influence like I love their sound, like their style. Like I just love them.
What's your favorite Total song or feature?
I guess I would say Kissing You. I referenced Kissing You.
Yeah.
In Aries, at the end of in Aries, I referenced that record. Like I did like my own little spin on it, and I added, what is it called? An interpolation or something like that? Like if you reference someone's record.
That's a big word.
I know a little something. I learned my lesson over time. Learned quite a few lessons. Like you get an email like this is it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take that now. We didn't even got to do all that. But yeah, I would say probably Kissing You. I mean, all their songs was like, I loved all of their records, honestly. Like, Sitting Home Waiting. Like, their songs are just so good. Like, literally was still binge watching like 2 days ago, binge watching all their videos. I'm just like, I get sad when I realize that music is drifting further and further away from that sound.
Oh yeah.
It breaks my little heart. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. Like, I'm like, why? Even Will Smith's getting jiggy with it made me sad the other day. Like,
but the thing is, he never changed the original track at all.
I remember that time. I'm like, this is such a fun time to be alive. Like,
that was a fun time. That was a fun time in music.
Easier. I feel like life was easier then.
100%.
Maybe because we were kids and we didn't have bills, but
that's true. But we could just wear the baggiest shit, whatever. Who cares? Throw back this, throw back that.
Don't play, bro. Like back then, if like especially the way it's been hella windy these days, we would have got blown away. Like
100%, because we were wearing parachutes or something.
We would have got blown away.
Flipping parachute.
Like them XXL t-shirts. Yo,
remember those guys did those too?
Yo.
Yes.
I mean, listen. I didn't do the version, but like when guys did, I've never been attracted to that kind of man either. I'll say that much. I didn't date in high school at all. We didn't get to any personal conversations, but I did not date growing up because I just thought that boys were dumb and gross. I don't know if it was like the fashion, but it's because they were all doing it. And like for me, like if you guys look at my style, I don't think that I have like a very like trendy. I'm not a trendy person.
You do. No, stop it. You do.
I'm not really trendy though. Like I don't hop on trends. Like there could be like everybody has to be wearing like a certain particular sneaker, and it's just like I'm not going to hop on it because everybody's doing it. Like that's not me. Like I don't get sneakers. I don't get things because of what the name that's attached to. I get stuff that I just genuinely like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if everybody was laughing at Skechers, like if Skechers made a dope sneaker, I will buy it. I don't care if it's a Skechers. Like people will crack when you hear if you wear Skechers. Like you're wearing Skechers. I would wear Skechers if there was some fly Skechers.
What would we be getting at people for here? What was it? High tech, innit?
Yep.
High tech. We had a trainer or sneaker called High Tech.
Angola.
And oh god. I'm telling you, if you wear any of those,
I can't turn up to school with them bad boys on. Your life is your career is done. Yeah,
Plimsolls are better than them. That's the thing.
If you come secondary with any of them, your career is done, bro. Like,
no. Let me tell you something. If I went today and I found if I got a sneaker that most people would deem as unpopular, the way that I dress, people were like, "What sneakers are they?" I'm like, "They're Skechers." Everybody's gonna start buying those fucking Skechers. You better believe me.
No,
100%.
Like they will. It's just the way that you carry it. Like here, if you wear a pair of I remember people joke on you if you wore Feelers, and then Feelers became popular. But like if they're not Timbs, you can't wear any other construction boot unless it's a
Tim.
Yeah, Timbs or Cats.
But let me tell you something. If Lugs came out with a real fly boot, I'm putting that Lug on. Nobody's gonna tell me I can't wear what I want. Like I don't live in that world. Like, are you crazy?
No, but
go on, Miss.
No, I said where she comes from. Like the Tim is the dominant.
It's the dominant. Do you guys wear Lugs out there?
We had Lugs, but listen, that's another Gola or High Tech. You don't want that. That's called an on-goal.
Hell no. Listen, it's a rap, bro. Listen, change schools. Yeah? Leave the ends. Oh my days.
No shorties with Lugs on. Like I wear Lugs, but the guy, like if I meet a fella, like you can't wear the Lugs because you're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna tell you how UK girls behave. They judge you from the feet up. That's how UK girls judge you, right? So if you try to talk to a girl and you're coming with the deadest crep game, no,
it's not allowed.
No chance.
Shoes are a big deal. Sneakers are. You know what? They are. I mean, I don't want you to have a pair of what are those on. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie.
So hold on. So somebody came to you with a pair of Lugs. It's a no.
I'm contradicting myself, but I just said that I could wear them. But I'm a woman. You look at me. I'm gonna wear them Lugs.
Okay. Score that own goal.
I don't know.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I think that I could do it. But if a guy came to me with Lugs on, you're not gonna get to walk up to me as soon as I see him. On the approach, I'm gonna
you'll feel those. You won't even see those. You'll feel those first.
Yeah, that's the ground all shaking,
bro.
Oh, Jesus
But
Christ!
listen, it's those uncle Jesus creepers that are just, yeah,
Just
those
describe them to essence, because
they've,
that's
they've,
very English term, isn't it?
they've got to be banned. Like those Uncle Jesus creepers have
What
got
are
to be
they?
banned. Like they're the ones with like so much. It's like they're like desert shoes. Like I need to get an image up.
You get a picture and you
I need to
describe
get a
it.
picture up. Like because it's just
Listen,
like
for
yo.
me,
It's the merge between the uncle and the Jesus. That doesn't sound like a good combination. Like,
it's
uncle
not.
Jesus.
It's not. It's
Like, why
not.
would you ever merge uncle and Jesus together? Like,
Listen,
where's the merge?
ask our
Like,
African elders. Ask our
is that
African elders why they
like,
think that was good.
he has the
Bro,
uncle Jesus.
it's like, and they rock them hard though. Like
For
it's all.
me, for me, it's the Crocs. It's the crocodile
Oh,
skin with the real pointy toe nonsense.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The crop with the like this, and it has like the hard square in the front, right?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And they do them
Yeah.
in yellow, red, green, every bloody color
hold on,
under
wait. I
the
don't know if you
fucking
can see
rainbow.
these.
Yeah, those ones.
Oh, those. My dad had a pair of those.
Oh, he just shot your dad. Oh, that's cold.
Hey, listen,
Apologize.
listen. Did you just shut your dad's game down? Oh,
It's worse because
oh
Oh,
my.
Libby's, he fully
Uncle
shot
Jesus
your dad.
creepers are far worse than what we call them here. Like we don't call them Uncle Jesus creepers. We call them like we really don't. Like we call them like the pop cookout shoes. Like
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not too
yeah.
bad.
Like the cookout, because like back in the day, people used to wear them to the cookout. Like your uncle had,
Yeah.
but the Uncle Jesus creepers.
Nah,
That,
yeah.
no,
They're
I'm
not
like, all
cool.
right, so
These ones, yo, it's
With the
I
socks,
hate those.
with the socks,
with the white socks
white
pulled up.
socks.
Oh my
I think the
days!
Asians started that.
I have
Damn.
no idea who started that,
And he's
but
always
they
got
should
some
be
baggy shorts with the socks
there.
pulled up with
Yeah,
them on in the middle of summer.
beige khaki shorts.
Yeah,
Oh no,
done out here.
no.
I've seen
Yeah,
a lot
yo.
of fashion profiles. I don't know what it is. Like I said, just do your thing. You know.
What
My
do you
dad
think?
definitely had a pair of those shoes. I'll never forget them because I was a kid. Talk about my childhood, and I'll never forget. As soon as you whip that shoe out, I was back to being a 4-year-old kid, and I see my dad getting. No, I'm not even lying. And I see my dad get into an altercation with this man, and he
Later,
jumped on his back and he was beating him up with those
the
shoes.
shoes, because they're hard at the bottom.
They're
Yeah.
very hard.
I don't think the guy liked it that much. Like, I mean, my dad took the Uncle Jesus creepers off, and he was like, my dad's
Whipping them with
Asian,
that.
so like, can you imagine? Like,
Yo, hold on,
and he's like,
real quick. The one that just joined now, it's lit forever. This you is an 18-year-old. I know who you are. You don't know who I am. He's 18 years old. He was caught singing outside Halfords. Halfords is like some, how do you call it? It's like a motor shop or something. He has got one of the most lit voices I've ever heard in my life. Essence. Oh, somebody's echoing. Essence, I will honestly tag you in one of this guy's posts. Please check him out.
please do that.
I'm
I don't
actually
know.
glad he joined us.
Where
He's
did he
wicked.
join at? Is he on YouTube or IG?
IG, like if you just scroll through, it's lit forever.
I don't. Mine does not refresh. Mine hasn't refreshed in like a really long time. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
There's
No,
not.
I'll tag you in it. That brother's cold. He's so cold. Sorry, but yeah. In fact, it's just discovering artists like that. I'll just come across him. He's due to come on the thing for sure. I need to talk to that brother. Sorry to interrupt you. We're talking about your dad beating out somebody with these hard Uncle Jesus creepers. So sorry.
Uncle Jesus. I'm sorry, y'all. That was a very monumental moment.
No, yo, there were big shoes back in the day, like, and the guys, like my dad used to wear his with the pants. You know, the pants with the little seam, like where they used to like iron the pants, so there was a little crease down the middle.
Oh
of the pants.
yeah, the crease. Wow, with the cornstarch.
Yes, that was my dad's style, like with them flipping crep. Yo,
Well, your dad's from the Caribbean, isn't it? And
yeah,
they were
of course.
proper, innit?
And then he would, like, my dad would always listen. It could have been windy, raining. My dad had a big chain, right? And he had two buttons always undone. Undone. And
yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this guy, man.
You don't want to miss the chain. You don't want to miss the chain.
This guy is. The swag was hard. Listen, the swag was hard back then, though. Like, the swag was hard back then.
Oh, there you go.
I appreciate you guys teaching me all of this new slang because
that's all right. We've got plenty more.
Jesus creepers, like I don't know. Listen, I'm going to use that to diss anything that's trash from now on. Like, wow, you got the Uncle. Anything's unfamiliar. I'm like.
Oh, do you know what? I totally forgot that term until you actually bust them out as well. To be honest, I totally forgot that term.
The amount of times you get people with the what are those?
Yeah. And I thought I was doing something with what I was like, I don't want anybody in the what are those, and then you hit me with the Uncle Jesus creepers. Yeah, that just sounds so bad. Like I don't know how y'all came up with that. It's a combination of words.
Listen, insults in this country are just random,
horrible.
They don't make sense. They don't make sense half the time.
Like seriously, this is why people always got their crep game on point, because you're gonna get taken down for your crep game. Like seriously, if you ain't got like your creps on point, it's a wrap. People know.
Mine's impeccable. I know that my sarcasm, impeccable. It's
like
impeccable.
You're super sarcastic.
Super sarcastic. I mean, if need be, like not at all times, but like I'm always ready. Like it comes just naturally. So it's second language.
You know, sometimes I wish I was like that. You know, I'm not like that. Sometimes I just get in my feelings and just get upset for no reason. I just get upset. Then I start reeling off these English cusses for no reason.
See that like what you just did right there could be a form of sarcasm. Like if really? Someone said something, like if someone said something to you that you didn't really appreciate, like maybe like, like I really, said something to you that you felt like was disrespectful. You'd be like, I don't understand this. I would normally just get all upset in my feelings, but nothing's coming to me right now. Like that's sarcasm.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, that's on tap. That's on tap. That's a skill.
Like normally I would be all upset in my feelings. Turns out I don't have it. I don't know. Like
in saying that as well, actually, who do you think's got a better style, the UK guys or the US guys?
That's unfair. I'm talking to you guys.
No. Obviously not. Be honest. Like, be honest.
Like you said, obviously. I mean, I feel like that it would have to be. I don't give a shit about these guys here. I love the UK style.
Be biased. If you feel you want to be biased, be biased. It's cool.
You know what? Because I feel like I love the UK style because I feel like you guys get like all the fashion. Like I just think it's very high fashion. Your approach is high fashion. Here, I feel like the guys here are very safe with fashion. Unless you're really into fashion. Other than that, you're just very trendy. You get what I'm saying? So you're sticking to true. You're sticking to like this kind of mannequin style blueprint. I call it mannequin wear. Like I don't know. I hate. It's just like you went into H&M and you saw that a mannequin and you asked for that.
I know the whole outfit.
I know you did. You did.
You know what? I forgot you guys got H&M there. You know.
Yeah, man.
And it's quite recent, and Office as well. Imagine that they got Office and H&M. That's crazy.
Listen, not many companies.
Is it recent? I feel like we've had H&M for like. Well, I mean, maybe it's if you guys had it compared to you guys, then maybe so. But like,
I think you guys have had it for like 10, 12 years. Something like that.
We've had it for a while, man.
Well, I don't know. It's been a long time. Like, it's been some time. Is that so? Did it originate in the UK?
No, I think they're Spanish.
No, Zara is Spanish.
Oh yeah, that's Zara.
Yeah.
I'm not even too sure.
Spanish.
Need to find out. But H&M's dope. I went to H&M in Paris. The H&M in Paris was crazy. Like it was right opposite the Gucci store, so like their line of clothing was just so much higher than the normal H&M.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, "This is H&M." You know, you pop in there from time to time to get like a cheap T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, let me just get a quick tee.
Like, yeah, let me just get something quick. It's nothing like you going. It works out. Like if it's a last minute thing, it works out because it's not too cheap, but it's not like no one's gonna really notice either. I mean, maybe
Zara in Amsterdam was like 4 or 5 floors, and that was dope as shit. That was sick.
I'm sorry about me like scratching my nose. I just have really like bad sinuses.
That's all right.
You hear me sniffling a lot, it's just because like I'm always congested.
That's so good. Don't worry. I mean,
we got to ask you as well. Like, what about female fashion? Do you think female fashion is better in the US or in Europe?
In Europe.
Let's
well done. Sorry, if you ever said the US, I was gonna go off. I'm not even.
No, of course Europe. Like, when in here, we aspire to obtain those things in Europe. Like we can't wait to get our hands on it. Like you know what I mean. Like in the meantime, you're just
seriously.
You know, in the meantime, you're just putting things together, like and making it like arcade. It's a good motto.
That's that. I had no idea that you guys looked at European fashion like that, because here, for the longest time, even probably still now, or maybe it's the circles that we run in, we look to America a lot. We look to the States a lot, fashion wise, and everybody still thinks that the US is the mecca of fashion. To some extent, yeah, because you got the big streetwear brands like your Supremes, etc. That's fine.
Just because of the broadness of it. I think if people look at the US for fashion, it's just because there's so many different variations. You know what I'm saying? You get because there's so many different places to go to. Like if you go to the West Coast people have their own style. And you go down south. Yeah. Everywhere that you go, like people in New Jersey dress different from people in New York. Like and it literally varies from literally city to city. So imagine each city. Like there's so many cities, in every city, everybody dresses different. If I go from New Jersey to Miami, I dress different from them. You get what I'm saying? Everybody dresses like different.
The thing is, I don't think it's like that from city to city here. I think it's more. It's not, because I think overall in the UK we dress quite similar. Apart from when you go to Essex and then proper skinny jeans with the.
But them man have been doing that for a while though. The Essex guys have been wearing the tightest jeans. Like, look, dude, listen, bro. It's not a gender or like homophobic thing or nothing, but as a heterosexual man,
take down the tightness, bro.
Your jeans can't be tighter than your girlfriend's jeans, bro. Like,
no.
And they are.
And sometimes you see these guys busting out, and his jeans are way tighter than his girlfriend's jeans, and I'm like, how? Who? It's
and like, then they have to wear them like, well, here the guys here wear them so tight that they slide the pants all the way down to their growing area. So
really,
all the ass is out. Like, is that a thing?
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
That's how they dress. Like the skinny pants are so tight. So it's basically just like 3/4 of your legs are actually in pants.
It's not like that as much. We used to have like the punky type of skateboarder type guys.
Yeah, they used to be on it.
The guy he would have his Vans on, and he'd have some really tight jeans.
Yeah.
And then he would have like the trousers halfway down the bum and shit.
Yeah.
But he would have some fashionable boxers on though, like, you know what I mean? Like,
the boxers get him every time. Like, just make sure that the ass looks great, bro.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you have a good pair on.
But I don't know about Kofi, but I'm a big dude, so all that tight jeans business don't work with me, bro.
I mean, to be honest, it's not tight jeans as such. They're just a bit more fitted. Like, I'm telling you, lots of people will tell you, I used to wear the most oversized stuff ever.
My IG is gonna die.
What do you say?
My IG is gonna die, but my phone's gonna die. But
that's all right. We can jump off that if you want.
You can just leave it on service.
Yeah, but yeah, I used to wear the most oversized stuff ever. I mean, I still dress quite loose now, but nothing like how I used to. It was stupid. My t-shirts would come down to my knees, easy. I never owned anything that was even mid-thigh. It was all down to the knees, and this was even when I was hooping. So
yeah, but we were in that culture of like hooping. Like all ballers back then used to have like, you know,
oversized stuff.
Yeah, and I remember like when we used to go and play games and like the kits for the kits. I was just like, if I don't have like some shorts that are bigger, I never wanted to play in shorts that were like over the knee. Like if my basketball shorts went over the knee, like going downwards rather than coming up, I felt naked on the court. Yeah. Like I felt naked. I was just like, what the fuck are these? Like, what are these shit? What is this?
What is this? Yeah, it's true. I was the same.
Or like when the coaches used to get onto you, like tuck in your shirt. Like, yo, I'm balling.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, man. Like, what you doing?
We were rebels. We were actual rebels.
Rebels back in the day. But that's when I think we used to emulate like the Americans quite a lot, to be fair. Back when and one was a thing.
What'd you say?
I feel like I believe that it's always opposites. Like we're always people here always want to be able to tap into that audience or that market there, and then here it's like you want to be received from people where that's not, your natural audience. You get what I'm saying? I think that it goes both ways. I feel like Americans, like that's like how you, to me, like that's how you deem like success. Like people are around people across the pond who know who I am. Because for me, quite frankly, of course I want people from home to love me. But if people, my IG live died, so I want to focus here.
Yeah.
But if people, I'm sorry, guys. I know you had
I'm
more
just gonna
people
say
on that. We've been talking for quite some time. We can. I'm a geek. But yeah, I think that it just works that way. Like that's what we deem as success. It's like the more people internationally know you. You don't really get like really super gassed up when people from home because it's going to come. But people from home don't normally really catch on or love you until the rest of the world does, unfortunately.
Do you know what I love? Yeah, when Americans say gas, because we say it's so different. There's like gassed
When we
up.
say
We're
what?
like gas.
Gas.
You're gassed up. Yeah.
So
gassed up.
We say gas. Like it's totally different, and we mean the same thing. Obviously, I just love the way you guys say it. That's what I was just saying.
Really?
I love the way you guys say it.
We say gas.
No.
You guys say gas.
Gas. Yeah, you prolong
it depends on what you're saying. Like, I don't know if it's like in casual conversation and like, oh, I'm gassed up. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll say exactly the same thing, but we'll say, "Oh,
like,
that is gas." That's what I would say it.
Oh, like if something is super fire, like that's gas.
No, no. It's
if you
not
say
even.
gas, like we refer to like pot as gas. Like you're smoking gas.
Oh God, geez, that's a new one. That's
not a thing.
No, not for us. No.
Gas is either you're chatting shit or it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we use it in different ways. So like if you're smoking really good weed, but like you're smoking that gas. Okay. I don't smoke pot, but I have most of my friends do. I don't disagree with it. Whatever. It's marijuana. It's not a. I don't think it's like one of those taboo things anymore. At least I hope. I don't know.
That's what it is. Like I think a lot of the music culture, especially when you hear the rappers in the UK, everybody's smoking weed. Everybody's smoking weed. Everybody's smoking Cali as well. Say, if it's not Cali, it's a problem. I'm not gonna lie, Cali is dope, but it's overrated. Like, I mean, it's overrated. It's overrated. I mean, I did go to space on Cali one time, but yeah, I went straight to space.
Were you in Dam?
Yeah, I was in Dam, so I got real Cali, and like have you ever seen that film Limitless? Is it Limitless?
Yeah.
I kid you not, that's how I felt.
I can believe that.
That's exactly. I saved my friend from getting run over, and I to this day could not tell you how I did.
With Cali in your system.
It was in my system. And
later,
like I stopped him. He was about to cross the street, but obviously they drive on different sides of the road to us in the UK.
Everybody does.
So as he was trying to cross the street without even looking, for some reason I just reached out and grabbed him, and this car just pow. This car just went straight past. Carson was about to take him out. I don't even know how I did it.
It was on point.
Saying that it was clearly your superpowers that came in. Okay.
I don't know what the hell.
You don't know how to control them yet, but you have them.
But right at the end there, I ate a steak, chips, dessert. I had like two beers, like all in about 5 minutes. It was bam.
That's one thing Dam's bad for, you know. When you're there and you're taking all of these narcotics, I had to be proper there. Listen, they have every single munchie that you could possibly want within arm's reach. That's what's so bad about there. So imagine if you went out there for a month, and all you were doing was smoking. How fat would you come back?
Oh yeah, fluffy.
What are you talking about? You went to Cali?
No, I went to Amsterdam.
Oh, you wouldn't come back fat at all. I feel like people. I mean, maybe it's just the marijuana here, but like all the people that I know that used to be fat.
Oh no! To be honest,
wait. Where you going with this? You better be careful, man.
She's selling some new dietary tips.
You better be careful. What are you trying to say?
No, there's nothing wrong with like. Oh my god, what I'm saying is like, forgive me. I'm not trying to offend anyone.
What she's saying was, all you fat fuckers.
Start smoking some weed.
I love all my body conscious people. You're all beautiful. Listen up. I'm not even going to try. I know that used to be like a bit like fluffy.
Yeah.
Once they started smoking pot, like they got like super thin, and they eat snacks all day long.
Damn,
they eat all day long.
That's true, actually, because all they do is eat and sleep.
I don't think there's time for you to get fluffy because your metabolism is just like, going.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, but damn, you want to try? If you go to Amsterdam, you want to try. There's a place where they sell fries, as you guys say. We say chips,
Fries.
not potato chips.
We call them chips if you're eating them with like fried fish, like we say fish and chips.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. So there's a place which sells. Is it double or triple fried chips? You know, it's always next to like it's double fried chips, isn't it?
Bruv, that place.
The line outside there is ridiculous, but you
know
need to
what?
go there.
I can't wait until like the countries open up again.
Do you know what? We was actually meant to be in Dam now. Remember with Apple? Oh no, sorry. We're talking personally between us. So we was actually meant to be in Amsterdam.
Like every year around this time, it's
I just like how you guys say dumb. Like, yo, my accent is trash. Like I'm good to a certain point. And I realized that people that are from the US, I'm like, that's messed up because usually if you go to Philadelphia, listen, I'm aware that a lot of my followers from Philadelphia, but the men from Philadelphia, they're a very tough kind of guy. Like,
in what sense?
They're very like aggressive.
Right.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Like they're like a lot of the guys there, like they'll try to talk to you and they're just like very straightforward. Like, damn, beautiful, I'm trying to talk to you. If you don't want to talk to them, like they're quick to curse you out.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
And it'll start off as a compliment, and if you don't receive it, then it turns left very
quickly.
Oh yeah, that happens here too, man. Like, but like,
yeah, it's just
I give you a scenario. Like, a guy will start talking to a girl, he'll throw some compliments at her, and if she rejects him, he'll be like, "Oh, your butters, anyways," and he'll move on.
Like, why? You just go off me, like, hey, how you doing, beautiful? And I'm gonna give you the how you doing, because I'm not rude. I always speak back. People are crazy, so I always say like, how you doing? Dang, can I get to know you? Like, they're straightforward, and you be like, oh no, thank you. Like, you try to be as nice as possible, and they be like, I'm saying you don't want no friends. Like, they really reach. Like, they try.
Do you know what? You know what's crazy? This actually sounds like some of the stuff that I hear on like when I'm watching like TV shows or programs.
It's real. Like, it's a real thing.
They legit actually approach you like that. I thought they was just acting.
No, for sure. No, it's a thing. Like, they be like, dang, you don't want no friends. Like, really press you, and you be like, no, I'm in a. Don't try to say that you're in a relationship because that doesn't.
They don't care. They don't
care. Nobody cares. They be like, I ain't asked you about him, though. Like, if you tell them you're in a relationship, they be like, I ain't asked you about no nigga.
I ain't ask you about him.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's like you almost want to laugh at it, but it's just like, and then after that, like if they don't like it, they be like, man, and then here comes like the profanity and everything. It's like,
okay, exit stage right.
Yeah, but there's that. But what I was we were talking about you guys saying damn. I was trying to get to the point. I don't know why I beat around it so much, but I want to get to this point where one day I was like in Philly with my homegirl, and we faked like the British accent. We were drunk, and we're faking this accent, and they wanted to wait on us hand and foot. I'm like, damn, so y'all do what I say if I'm not from here.
Seriously.
I'm like, I don't know how to pump in gas. Like,
seriously. Do you know what's funny? It's actually the same here. It's actually the same here because me and my pal B, we actually did the same thing. We put on these ridiculously dumb American accents, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Like, can I hear it again? And I was like, "Okay." They literally eat out the palm of your hand. They'll give you anything. Like, we're getting free food and everything. They said, "Don't worry."
Like when you're not from somewhere, they just like love you. Like, we're doing this, and we're like, people are pumping our gas. They even offer to pay for it.
I tell you what though, like we recognize Americans though. Like when I was in America,
like do Americans look a certain way? Like, would you see me and be like, American?
Yeah, in a way,
not in a bad way,
not in a bad way, but like I mean, the black folks kind of, kind of,
yeah.
But the white folks sometimes you just can't tell.
Like, they all blend in.
You know, but like the black folks, it's almost like you could recognize like an American black person. There's just like a way they carry themselves and stuff that you can just identify. But like while we were there, we got into it with some people because we told them that we were from London, and they were like, "No, you ain't." We're like, "We're from London." Like, seriously? They're like, "There's no black people in London."
Oh God! Do you know that's a very true thought? A lot of us Londoners
and they genuinely didn't believe that there were black people in London, and I was just like, "Yo, there's a bag of us, and obviously that's how we talk.
Yeah.
Like, when we say there's a bag of us, that means there's loads. There's like a lot. There's a lot of us. So like, yo, there's a bag of us here. They're like, bag? I'm like, oh, there's a lot of us here. There's like there's quite a lot of us here, right? And it was just crazy. But it's kind of like interesting to see that we obviously know that there's a huge black community in America, but it's like Americans seem to not understand that we also have a huge black community in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? It's just a bit.
Absolutely. No, I was watching it. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it yet. It's this new show that comes on Netflix. You guys probably have already seen because it originates in the UK, but it talks about like this place called the Mangrove. I don't know if you guys are familiar. The Mangrove, and it talks about like how like this owner, he was from Jamaica, and he opened up like this restaurant, and how he was harassed for like, it's a true story, how he was harassed for like 18 years straight about how he had just like a restaurant. He sold food there, and it was called the Mangrove. It was like where all the black community went for like.
Probably Brixton.
I probably was Brixton. I'm not sure what it. I would have to ask my husband. Hey, there he is. What's that show that we were watching on Netflix?
You
guys have to watch it. What's that show on Netflix with the
man
guy
that I live with? Shit.
Yeah, what's good, husband? Sorry, not husband, my husband, but hey, it was good.
He said, "What's up, guys? I'm sorry." He's like, he just walked through the kitchen. I'm like, there he is over there.
Hey,
because the whole show is based around like life in the UK, and like the reason why I appreciate it so much, and I think it's important that we talk about it here, because speaking of like the differences in the ignorance.
It's called Mangrove.
Is it called the Mangrove?
Steve McQueen.
No, but what is the whole series called?
Small Acts.
Small Acts by what? That's what all it's called?
Small Acts.
It's called Small Acts. It's on that.
Okay.
It's called
BBC?
Small Acts. Yeah.
And
it's
based to reload that
now.
Yeah, check it out. And it talks. It's made by Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar?
Yeah. No. Well, heard of Steve McQueen. Yeah.
Well, basically, just highlights like how life was, like how like the Black Panther Party was in the UK. Like I didn't even know that there was a Black Panther movement.
Is your husband still there?
My husband's a teacher. He's very smart. Yeah, he's here.
Okay. This is a question to both of you. What is your two? I'm going to ask just you two specifically. What is you guys' perception of life in the UK for Black people? How do you think it is? Because we think there's a I personally think there's a massive misconception.
It probably is. I'm not going to sit here and say, all right, hey, they had a question for us. They want to know, like, what is Black people, as Americans, what's our perception of life for Black folks in the UK, in the US?
If you have one.
If you have one. Like, is there a perception that you...
Actually, it's if you care, not if you have one, if you care.
He said he said his perception is that it's like America, but not as racist. Because obviously...
that's the misconception.
That's the misconception.
I was thinking that... I was thinking that it's probably harder for you guys there.
Yo, don't get it twisted, right? And I'll give you a story that ties into what I'm saying. But the bottom line is, America's racist, flat out, right? That's my opinion.
Oh, it really
is. And this is how I discovered it. So my aunt, she's married to an American. She's lived in America for a lot of years. And we were in Miami. I went to visit her in Miami, and my uncle, who is white, he was driving the car. This is how I know America's fucked up. He overstepped the stop line by just like an inch on his tire. This police officer jumped, pulled him over.
Yeah.
My cousins started crying because they know, this is how I knew America was a fucked up place. They knew, they know as a Black family, they were in trouble.
Yeah.
And not in normal trouble, in proper trouble. To the point where there was two Black guys in the car, like adjacent. They started filming because they were like, it's another bunch of Black people. We need to protect them. We need to get this on camera. Yeah. This was before, like, and I'm talking, this was like 2016. Like, this was years ago, right? And that's when I kind of realized, because I've heard stuff, but then to see it firsthand, how fucked up it is. Like, it's crazy out there. I don't know how you guys, like, live with that stuff, because our police officers don't carry guns.
Right? And
that's why we don't have that fear.
I always wondered, why haven't we been able to, implement those same those same kind of laws? Like, because it's just really hard. Like I love this topic of discussion, but I feel like it's too deep to really like get into.
We
Way
all
too
say
deep.
it. We
You get what I'm
all
saying?
say it
Listen, we say it every week. Trust
every
me.
week, and we're gonna be here for another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Don't
won't
get too deep. Don't get too deep.
Yeah, so just sticking to course about like the differences. Like I said, he said that he thought that it was like America, but not as racist, and I said that I felt like it was probably just as hard, just because I feel like for you guys, like for us, like how can I say it? Like I feel like so there's a lot of in the UK, there's a lot of Africans and a lot of Jamaicans that settle there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not just
For us,
Jamaicans, but like Caribbean people, from all
like
over the Caribbean.
Caribbean people, right? Caribbean people. Yeah, so I just feel like you guys, it's almost like there's more diversity in the Black community here.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like even though Black is Black, I feel like you guys have like a standard Black.
you can hear it in our music. Like our music,
yeah,
is
you
very,
get what I'm saying? Like there's
it's
like
very Afro-Caribbean-y.
Yeah, very Afro-Caribbean. Like so, but here, like there's so many different. Like I mean, just people from all over. Like I go out and it's the craziest question. Like, what kind of Black are you?
See, that's something that I saw that on Instagram today. It's like,
what does that mean? Like I don't even know. It sounds crazy. Like you don't think that you would hear something like that, but it happens all the time.
I get the question.
You won't believe how much I get in my inbox and they're like, "What are you like? Or what kind of Black are you? Or what are you?
Yeah.
What are you like?" It's because it's so much mixed up. So it's so many things. Like you're so mixed up. I feel like it's just like a huge group. You just never know. I feel like each group gets treated a little different. You know what I'm saying? You're Black, but I feel like for certain groups, like if you come from certain areas, like it's just like I don't know. This is really bad.
No, it's not. We get that as well.
For us, like there's something that you guys do that we find a little bit, for me personally as well. So if there's any Black within your genes, you're instantly classed as Black in America, right?
Heck yeah.
Which we find shocking, because over here, like me and Kofi, we're Black, right? My son, he's light skinned, so
yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's kind of, we've got a special place for him. Like he's you know what I mean? He's one of those.
He's literally light skinned.
He's one of those light skinned guys, right?
Is your son biracial?
Yeah. His mum is. So, but I've got white people in my family in my bloodline somewhere. So like all of the kids in his generation have come out really light, even though my siblings are all Black, like we're like dark skin like me. Because his mum's mixed race, he's come out quite light, kind of herb complexion. He still looks like me and everything, but he's just like a lighter version. But he's not classed as a Black child. He's just classed as like a mixed child, right? Over in the US, like even if you're like slightly Black, like Meghan Markle, you know Meghan Markle?
Of course.
She's not Black.
But they will consider her Black. She's considered Black here.
This big thing that she's Black. I'm like, yo, like that's.
She's a lighty.
Because she's not white.
She's a lighty.
I mean, she's for me, she's on that side though.
Like if you look at her, she doesn't look like a white woman.
No,
like she's too dark for the white people to take her. So that's how society. It's like, well, we can't claim her, obviously, so let the Blacks take her. Like that's how they look at it. So here in the U.S., like she's classified as like they consider her like if you look at her Wikipedia, it'll say she's a biracial, or they'll say she's biracial or something like her, or they'll say whose mother is Black and her father is this. White. Like you know what I mean? They'll always say what you are, but they're going to say that you're African. It says African American. Like you know what I'm saying? You're mixed.
That's how incredibly racist.
But people are going to look at me like no one ever. Unless you're half and you're half, like no one's even still like if you're Black, if you look Black, they consider you Black here.
What's your heritage?
My dad's Indonesian and my mom's Black.
Indonesian? I would never have gotten Indonesian. Although today I met a half Bangladeshi kid, half Kenyan. That mix I've never heard in my life.
Yeah.
Indonesian?
No,
from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people don't even like know, like no one ever like. So my dad is Indonesian and Japanese, so I have a little bit of both.
Hell.
Have you been to Indonesia?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
I made it. We went there 2 years ago. It's really nice.
That's a shame.
What would you
really.
think I am? Because what would you have thought that I was? Would you just think I'm a Black American?
I
Yeah,
would have thought you're Caribbean, like, because
yeah.
A lot of people think that some people think, people never know. Like when people meet me, they're just like, "Where are you from? Like, what are you?" They don't think I'm just like Black American. Like they can never tell.
Do you know what just made so much sense? Your last post with the kimono.
Yeah, people. My
That
mom
just made
always
so
says I
much
should
sense.
tap into it a little bit more, but I just never do.
That
I
makes
don't
so
feel like
much
I know
sense.
enough about the culture. So
The thing is, I think in England, what we do, which I don't think Americans do so much, is we know like exactly where we're from. Like somebody's asking me where you're from, I'm like Ghana, easy. Somebody's
yeah,
asking Mason where he's from, Montserrat, easy.
Mm.
If you go to
it's too
America,
different.
then you're just like, yeah, you say I'm African American, but we'll be like, no, where are you from?
Mm.
Yeah, and
What's your
that hurts.
heritage?
It's
And
sad.
that's
It,
where I
it's
think
it's like something
everything
that's
hits
been
different.
taken away from us. Unless you're rooted like from where you're from. Like unless you know.
Yeah.
Like for me, I feel like that's always like that's one of like the biggest things to me that matters. I just recently had my ancestry test done to see like how much of everything that I was. So I just want to know more because I don't know enough of my family, and it really bothers me a whole lot that I don't know exactly like where I'm from, like where my people are from. But I did find out that I was like for the African side of me, like I was from like Cameroon. I was
Cameroon,
like
Nigeria.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
It was like Cameroon, Nigerian, and then Mali. Those are like
Those,
the
those are the
three.
three biggest
Yeah.
kingdoms in Africa,
Yep. That's what
especially
I said.
Mali.
Yeah. So I just was like, okay. And then Ivory Coast was on there. I think that's like, but
Mm.
it was just like so great to know. And then the rest of it was just like,
I think it's crazy that you guys don't get connected to
But it's
that
been
part of
beaten
your
out their
heritage
system. It's been
it's
beaten
just
out
as
their
much.
system, bro.
hard. Like
It's
it's
really
just
sad.
hard, especially with just like the immigration, how everything's set up. Like how, like I know that like when my grandmother came here, like my dad's mother, like when she came, I feel like it's a really deep conversation. But I know when she came here, like she came here. Her husband was in the military. She wanted to
Mm.
get citizenship to come to the United States. So like here goes my grandmother, and she's like raising all these kids here, and then my mom, like she doesn't really know her side of the family because my great grandmother on my mom's side, she was dropped off on a boat in the New York harbor. Her mother was Portuguese. So my grandmother's mother was Portuguese.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
Yeah. So, but they never met her. She was like dropped off, and like these other people like raised her. She dropped her off on a boat, and like these other people just took her in and raised this baby. So it's just too much stuff to like really trying to. I feel like there's a lot of stories of that here. Like if you're actually like American and you're not from like other countries settling here, even though we're not naturally here, like which is hard because like the Africans here, like African people here,
Mm.
they don't consider you like if I say I'm African, it's like no,
You're
you're
not
not.
African.
I don't know what it's like. You're not black enough. It's so hard to identify with
It's
anything.
It's very sad, and
It
yeah.
is because like your blackness is taken away from you, and like you can't control it because clearly a black woman. But if I can't say I'm African, and I don't like saying I'm mixed, and I don't like saying I'm American, like, so it's just like I don't know what to say. Like
just to sort of like, because obviously this conversation gets quite deep, as Kofi would tell you.
This is a rabbit hole, bro. This is
It's a
the
massive
longest
sorry
rabbit
about
hole.
that.
But like my understanding of sort of like America and just the problems that you guys have got over there, listening to your story, it's actually kind of sad. Because we're so connected to our roots in the UK. Like we're very proud of our
where we're
roots
from.
and where we're from and stuff. Like do you think that like America as sort of like a country is just like for it to change, it kind of, do you think it needs to change the way it looks at itself?
Yeah.
Because from what you're telling me and from what I've kind of discovered for myself, it just seems like everybody looks at it from the wrong point of view. Like it's almost like you're never really going to be accepted to be an American because you're of like a different skin tone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a lot of changing that like needs to take place because for us, it's like you have to actually go and do the digging. It takes a lot of work for you to really know like where you come from, and I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult. You get what I'm
Shouldn't.
saying? And I feel like it shouldn't be that much. I'm sorry. Hey, can you guys quiet down in there just a little bit? I'm sorry, guys.
You sure?
Um, But yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be like that much. It shouldn't require that much digging to really. It's important to know who you are and where you come from because you don't want to be ignorant. And some people look at this color. A lot of people look at the color of their skin as superiority. Like if you're lighter, I know that like my relatives that are from like the South, like they always look at me as the prettier one because I'm more lighter than my siblings or my relatives. So they always like, oh, that's the pretty one because I'm lighter. Like that's crazy to me.
Is what
My daughter is like the most chocolate little girl ever. And she's gorgeous. So it's always going to be that complex. I feel like I don't see how that's ever going. I don't think that's something that's ever going to break. I feel like that's always going to be a thing. Like the lighter your skin is, the more accepted you are, the more appealing you are.
I think slowly it can change. It can definitely change. It just has to be influenced a lot more.
Yeah.
Just like for the sheer fact, like they used to
But
make
how long
fun
has
of
that
black
been?
people. Pardon?
It's been going on for such a long time though. Like even when back in the day when you had your first black supermodels and you have like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been going on for such a long time. Like how long does it take for that to become a thing? Like what does it take for it to become
you have to think about it for the best, but for the best part of almost 400, 500 years, that's been the norm. So it'll probably take the same amount of time for it to reverse. Remember, if you think about that,
we don't got that
realistically,
kind of time.
no, we don't. But if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, we're literally best part of maybe 60, 70 years into that change. That's it. 60, 70 years or 400 years that have changed. It's going to take a while. It really will take a while. But when it happens, it'll be beautiful because everybody will hopefully know exactly where they're. Well, in fact, the whole world's too damn mixed up, to be honest. Everybody's mixing. Like,
you know what?
My daughter's half Spanish, half Ghanaian, so everybody's mixed up.
I mean, I wouldn't celebrate too much because I mean, you guys have got your own problems. Britain, London especially, London's quite multicultural, so we're lucky. So in London, you're going to find we call them Asians, but anyone from sort of China,
we call them Orientals. They call it
Indonesia, those kind of places. Like we've got like a huge Asian community. So that could be Filipino, that kind of stuff. We've got South American community in London. We've got Jewish community in London. We've got the African community. We've got the Caribbean community. We've got tons, and everybody kind of lives in the same space, right?
Well, the Jewish segregate themselves.
Oh, you guys all live in like the same space?
Yeah, we all live in London. London's like
too busy.
It's
London's
just too busy. Like you're gonna go through someone's community at some point. Like so,
like when you go through Stamford Hill, you know you're basically in Jewish territory.
Yeah,
it's solely Jewish people, big hats, big curls, long black coats, synagogues, the whole shebang.
But then in that same area, you have like a huge black community as well. So it's like everybody.
And one of the roughest.
One of the roughest black communities is right next to the Jewish community. So it's just the way London's set up, and we kind of just all grow up appreciating each other in a way. So we're not as racist, I guess.
Yeah,
it's subliminal racism.
Yeah,
that is very well hidden.
And what I've found is like you guys over there, it's like it's kind of separated. Like everybody kind of just goes into their little factions, and then even you said like there's like, what kind of black are you? There's levels to this. Like
it's a thing. It's like
so that's why I kind of feel like you guys are like much further away from some kind of unity. But don't get it twisted. Parts of London, the further north you go in England, the worse it gets with the racism.
Yeah, my friend told me that he went out there and he was like, he went to like some kind of club. I'm gonna say this was like last year, like maybe 2 years. I'll say 2 years ago. And he was like, he went there and they said that it wasn't like no blacks on that day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've never heard anything like that in my life. Like there's certain days where there's no black people out in certain clubs or bars.
If you see our podcast with again our pal Saad, this guy's from
my dinner time, so I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, go for it.
Do your thing.
Sorry. Just Saad's from Mauritius, so he's like Southern Indian looking, like dark skin, and at the time he had long hair, probably as long as yours, and all braided, right? And he said to himself, "This is the first time I've ever experienced any kind of level of racism." He got to the door of a club, always used to go to, and they say, "Oh no, we're not letting you in today, fellas. Why? We're just not, as too packed today," or some nonsense excuse. And he knew instantly, and he was a group of about 3 black guys. He knew instantly what was going on. It happens here, easy.
Yeah,
it happens here, easy. I'm lucky I'm a DJ. Honestly, I've gotten into clubs when I had no intention of going out. I just had my DJ stuff on me and a set of headphones. I rolled up to one of the poshest clubs in London, saying I wanted the DJs, and I rolled in. If I was any other guy, they'll never let me in. Any other black guy, they'll never let me in. Unless you're entertaining them, they're not letting you in.
I'll give you an example. Like one of the clubs I used to play in, the owner came up to me one night and he was like, look, just be careful, you know, like, not too much of that jungle music tonight, you know.
Yeah,
not too much of that jungle stuff tonight.
Did he say that?
Oh, don't worry, I've had worse.
Listen, listen, I know I can give you accounts of so many DJs, black DJs.
Jungle music? I don't see. There's never that blatant. I've never experienced such blatant disrespect. Like, you're not gonna call jungle music.
Listen,
that stuff makes me laugh though.
listen, trust me, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Does.
Like, if you hear some of the testimonies of some of the people that we work with, you would be like, damn. But it's also in England what it is. Like, I feel like with Americans, they'll say it to your face. So if there's a white guy that doesn't like a black guy, he'll be like, look, it'll say it to you. He'll say it to your face, right?
Maybe depends on the setting, the place. If he feels like you're in his town, then yeah. But if you're just like in a general space, no, it's not like.
Whereas in England, they're very subtle about it. Like, it's sneaky. It's quite sneaky the way they try and go about it. So,
oh my god,
you have to be careful.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. But you know.
But overall, like, how would you say that your experience in the UK is? Do you feel like is it home? Like, is the UK home, or would you ever come to the US? Like, is it ever?
Hell no, I ain't coming over there.
Yeah, sorry. A lot. If you asked me this when I was. If you asked me this when I was 13, 14, I would be there in a heartbeat.
You would think it was a dream, right?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Yeah. Because what we see on TV, this college life, campus life,
all
of that
good,
stuff,
don't they?
Looks amazing. And then you grow up and then you start thinking healthcare. Nope.
No way.
Ghettos. Nope.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Tax paying yourself. Nope.
No.
Not on it.
No, I mean, listen, I've had white folks in America say there's places in America that if your car breaks down, start running. That's they've said that to me, and that's coming from a white person. So that's right from the source, bro. I'm done.
Depending on where you're at, for sure.
Like, certain towns, your car breaks down, keep running. Just run. Leave the car.
Hope you don't break down in the wrong town.
See, that for me, it's the fact that for you, and this is what I discovered. It's the fact that you guys are so normal with it. You're just like, yeah, it happens.
You just know better. Like, it's just like it's crazy. Like, just even like when traveling, like if we're, say for instance, if we take a road trip, like we literally have to look at like the towns that we're driving through to avoid certain areas. Like, we're like, we can't go this route because we're going to end up in this area. So you avoid certain places because you don't want to. You know better.
We don't have that here.
Map. You look at every time we travel, like we take a road trip. You have to be mindful of, especially when you're traveling further and further south or this area, you just know better. Like, okay, we can't go this route. We have to go around it.
So how do you know?
So Mason, one sec. I have to ask this question. It's always bothered me. Why do you guys say route? It's route.
Yeah, it's route. You know, you guys say Route 66. We say Route 66.
I don't know. I don't know why we say it. It's like route. I don't want to go this route.
I just had to ask just to try and get an understanding. Sorry.
The O is silent.
Listen, there's a lot of things that like we say that I'm like, does this sound better this way, the way they say it, or the way that we say it? Like, that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of
the only argument I can have is that we're English.
Yeah,
we're speaking English,
and
that's the only argument I have.
And which one is actually proper English? Like, no, we're actually the English. Like, why you guys call it English? Like,
it's true, but that's why they have to define it. American English,
like football and football, right?
Well,
like how we call it football. Why do we call it football? Like,
I don't know. I don't understand, because we actually play the game with our feet.
With your feet. Like, where do we get? Like, why do we call it football? Like, just
exactly.
Just
I mean, the ball's kicked, and I've seen football. NFL. You kick it like 4 times in the whole game.
Exactly.
If you're punting, or
that doesn't
if
earn the name football.
Exactly. Anyways,
and then you call soccer. Where does soccer come from? Like, what is that?
Who knows? Some oldie
I don't even
English
like the name
person
soccer. Like, I want to call it football because
call
we're playing. Because we have to complicate things. Just because we know we didn't own it, so we have to call it something else to take someone else's sport. That's what it's about. That's what Americans do. It's not their shit.
Listen, soon you guys are coming for you guys are coming for people in football. The investments that you guys will trust me, you guys will
No,
be coming in
I
football.
think with America, the football game is still a little bit far off. But because some Americans have got so much money, if there's an American football player, and I'm talking soccer player, they have to come from a rich family. It's so expensive to play soccer
In America.
In America.
Are we talking about soccer or football here?
Soccer, sorry. Now we're talking about
soccer. Yeah. Like, whereas we have a grassroots system, so like kids can start playing from the age of like 5 for free or like for a very low price.
Right.
But in America, like you guys have to pay for the kids to start
a lot
playing.
of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's different. Like for like sports like that, like it's more than just putting your kid in basketball.
Mm.
Like you actually have to pay. Like I'm like, oh, okay, well that's just gonna be like $130 a week, and I'm like, I'm gonna kick a ball around. Like, all right.
Oh man, what's it called? How long have we been going for? I don't even know.
For about like 2 hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean,
quite some time.
We've been gone that long that she is now eating dinner. So
I feel much better now. So listen.
2 hours, 5 minutes.
I was holding off. He put the plate next to me. I was like, y'all see me look over here a couple times, like.
Oh, is your family sitting there as well? Phil, say hello to them. Hi, family. If anybody's there.
Oh, no one's here. They're in their proper quarters, eating where regular civilized human beings eat at. Not like me in a chair in front of a computer, letting the world see me chomp.
I'm sorry. We caught you. I'm sorry. But this is what happens on this show. Like sometimes people come on so nervous, and next thing you know, we're talking 2.5 hours easy.
Yeah,
easy. I don't get nervous.
Oh no. As we stated already, Americans have this confidence. You guys just exude. So
yeah,
it's all right. We know that.
No, American black folks seem to have the confidence. Like American white folks sometimes are not as confident, I feel.
Because you know why?
And that's a broad statement, I know, but like that's only going on my personal experience, and I don't want anybody trying to slap me up with no dodgy comments.
They're gonna clip you, bro.
I'm just going on my personal experience from talking to American blacks and talking to American whites. In my opinion, I find that the American blacks are a little bit more confident than the white folks.
Because here, no matter what we overcome so much, like we're just so proud to be who the hell we are. Like I'm so happy. I wouldn't want to be anything other than black.
That's
if I had to do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? It's just like because we're doing it. It's easy. Like yeah, we just do it. It's just like we're just so influential. You know? Like it's just like we know
find the culture. No,
we know how much impact we have. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know we know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you're not even lying at all with that. If you look at the world as it is now, look how many people. Look at the black people that have influenced the world. Cardi B, mad out here. Mm-hmm. Kanye West with his style, mad out here. Michael Jordan's is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. Travis Scott, rockstar.
Jordan ones are back better than ever.
Better than ever. Like
how? Listen, and this is what kills me. How did the Jordan 1s become the number one crep again? How did they become the number one again?
Bro,
because we slipped easy. One of us black folks put them on our foot. It all starts with black folks.
Man, I've got a special pair of those, and I didn't know they were special, and now I know how special they are. When I initially bought them, yeah. I'll show you. I'll send you a picture of them, Kofi.
I see you guys be doing gift giveaways, so feel free to gift me a pair of those.
What size are you?
What size am I? Well, I don't know if you want US sizes. I'm a size.
I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, so it's all right. You can give me whatever.
Usually, I don't know if they come in half size, but I wear 6.5 in men.
Wait, hold on. Is everybody slapping chops? Am I the only one that's not slapping chops? I could clearly hear Kofi slapping chops as well. Like, you know what
me?
I mean? Because I've been putting off the food. So if everybody's gonna eat, like, you know what I mean?
Not?
Like,
why not? Here you go. I'm eating my subscriber.
I knew it. I could hear him. I knew it. I could hear him. You know, I could hear him. Oh, you lot, man. Like, look, next time just drop a message.
Do you know what it was? Essence watching Essence eat was like, you know what? I'm actually a bit hungry still.
You lot.
You're like, she's gonna do it. Might as well. Like, she has no shame.
You know what? That is such a black thing to do. Like, seriously.
It really is.
Like, black people be eating
Like, could you imagine me being on like
anywhere.
Oprah right now? Could you imagine just being like I'm on Oprah or the Ellen Show, and I'm just like, yeah, Oprah,
With the Tupperware box.
I ain't even gonna lie. Do you know what? Yeah, I might make this a feature in the show. When the show's going forward, hey, everybody's grab a munch, innit?
Whatever you're eating right now.
Wherever you're plating, go.
Like, what kind of snacks you guys have out there, right? Because for Valentine's Day, he got me all my favorite chocolates, and I know that traveling, like, I like to collect like chocolates from other places. I love chocolates, like German chocolate.
Do you?
I don't know what UK chocolate tastes like, but
it's all right.
Nah, you guys have got some sweet stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
I love.
That's the only thing.
Our stuff's cool. I mean, Germany, yeah, and Sweden.
Belgium and Switzerland.
You might like Swedish sweets. Swedish sweets are really nice.
Never had them.
Yes.
But for me, Switzerland, for me, Toblerone. Ooh.
Toblerone.
I've never had one of those. We sell those here, but I've never eaten one of them. What is that? Is it like nougat?
Is it what?
Does it have like nougat in it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Anything with nougat in it, I'll eat it. I don't care.
Yeah, no,
it could be nougat and nuts, bro. I don't know.
You know they have that in an ice cream, right? Oh my God, the ice cream, next level. The next level, Toblerone ice cream. I had that first time in Spain. It was like crack. It was like crack.
I'm gonna show you guys this chocolate.
Packs and packs of that.
Hey, honey, could you bring me that box of Ferrero Rocher mixed chocolates?
Ooh, Ferrero's, yeah.
Listen, he got me like this. So it's this variety box, and they usually only like you can get it from like the regular store, but you have to like really find it.
You have to search.
And it's usually like popular like around the holidays and stuff. Best chocolates ever, I swear. Well, thank you. He knows what I like. I'm a simple kind of girl.
He's good, isn't he?
This one. I don't know if you can see it.
We've got those. The Golden Gallery. Yeah. I've seen them.
MG. When I tell you this is the god of chocolate.
Is there any left in it?
It's a whole box, and I'm trying to like discipline myself to only eat one a day.
You're good. I'll never forget. Somebody bought my dad a flipping advent calendar. Man, sit there and box the whole calendar. I was like, Dad, you're meant to eat this over 24 days.
24 days,
in
man.
2 minutes.
Just slap them all.
It's so good.
The whole thing.
It's so good. Like,
you know, I've seen them. I've never got them. I've never been the biggest Ferrero Rocher fan, but
really,
I've seen that. Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes I don't like that kind of
the hazelnut.
No, I love hazelnut and chocolate, but the filling inside, I don't know why I just don't like it so much. That kind of
hazelnut.
I'll tell you what.
Hazelnut, but it's the chocolate. I love dark chocolate. These are.
I've got a real problem with cherry bakewells.
Do you know what cherry? We must know what cherry bakewell is.
No.
Oh, tell her that's very English. Cherry bakewells are very English, bro.
I don't know if you like. Is it? What's it called? Is it?
It's like a chocolate tart.
Marzipan. You like marzipan?
I don't know what that is either.
It's like
what's it called? Battenberg.
It's like the sweetest icing. Like, so it's this tart, right? A cherry bakewell is like a tart. It's got the tart base, and then you've got like a jam
on the inside.
Yeah, you got like a jam on the inside, like a sweetish kind of jam,
and then white icing,
and then you got like made of marzipan, and then you got like a cherry on the top.
I've never had that. It sounds really good though.
Listen,
mate.
I know what a mascarpone is. Like we call them mascarpones, but
no.
This
marzipan is something else.
This is marzipan. Marzipan is something else. Yeah.
Trust me, you'll know when you had it.
When you've had marzipan,
it's a strong taste.
It's like.
Is it really good though? Like I know what tarts are.
It's like a sugar.
I usually eat like a raspberry tart. You know what the raspberry tarts are?
It's similar.
It's really good. So it's literally like just like it's like I would call it like a shortbread cookie with like a powdered sugar on the outside and it has a raspberry jam filling on the inside.
Let me get a picture up for you. Hold up. I mean,
it is similar.
Look at us trying to connect with food.
Yeah, this is how you know we're all fat kids, really. Like, but it is what it is,
bro. Boy, I used to make some money selling all of this stuff in school. The donuts selling.
Selling candy in school. Oh my god, hot commodity.
My parents were horrified. I was like, Mum, I'm actually making bucks. You give me £2 or $2 in your sense. I'm leaving the day $10. I'm 500% up, Mum.
Listen,
would you know?
We were so competitive. Like everybody would have like the box, and it would be like, so they will always give you. The box came with regular dark chocolate Hershey's, right? Then it had the Hershey's with the almonds in it. Then it had Reese cups, Snickers, and Twix. That's what the whole box consists of. So you had 5 different major bars, right? So everybody, I would track how everybody. This is how I'm such a business owner. So people, everybody.
That's the Bakewell.
Oh no, I've never had that. That looks really sweet.
It's nice.
It's mad sweet.
I'm not a marzipan fan.
Really good. It's nice. Cherry. Is that like a maraschino? What does he call it? Maraschino cherry?
I think so. I mean, at this point,
it's like the one that you usually put in a cocktail, right?
That's the one. That's the one.
I love those cherries. They're so good. They're not even real cherries, but they're delicious.
I mean, I don't care what they are, but they taste.
I don't care what it is. You have to try it.
I don't care what they are. They taste.
They're like a fruit pack, whatever. I'm giving you my PO box. But
FedEx turns up with a bag of cherry Bakewells.
Listen, and it's gonna be delicious. But in school, when we used to sell those chocolates, it used to be so funny because the competition was so high. Like I remember, all the kids would be out of like I would wait for them. I know when they was getting. I'm like, yeah, I see you on that block, and you selling all your candy out, right? So I would wait for them to get almost sold out, and all they would have left is like they're just plain. Nobody wants a plain Hershey bar. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants your chocolate. So I was like, I will always be like, they're selling bullshit bars. Like, and it became like a thing, like bullshit bars. This is cool. Like, I'm like, you don't want your candy, they're selling bullshit bars.
So you would have the whole shop.
And I would have the only person like everything left.
Nah.
So I would sell it for more. I would sell it for more.
That was a hustler.
Yeah, it would.
It was a way to keep going in school, and you had to find ways of making money. Jeez.
Yep.
Nobody was rich out here. You know what I'm saying?
Some people were, I'm not gonna lie.
Some people had too much money, honestly. Way too much money.
I wish I could that could ever be a complaint. Like I've never said no one ever. I have too much money. What am I gonna do with myself? Like,
yeah, it's true. It's true. Like if I actually asked this question last time, if you had $500,000 right now, what would you do with it? Would you spend it on your music or something else?
Yeah, I would definitely invest it like in myself musically. But if I had $500,000 right now, I would honestly invest it in like going to buy land in another country. That's where my mind's at right now. Like that's what I've been thinking for a really long time. Like just purchasing land like in the motherland in Africa.
You know where
that's like one of my big goals.
You know where your partner's from? Like what part of is he African or is he from the Caribbean?
It's funny because like so that's another thing like with Black people here. Like if you don't know who you are, like if all you know is that none of your family, your relatives are like he'll look at me and he obviously knows like he'd be like you're mixed. You know what I mean? None of it. All he knows, he's like none of my relatives are mixed. Like we're all Black. So there's a lot of Black people here. They be like I'm just Black. But obviously we're not from here. If you're not like from here, then you're not just Black. You have white or something in you along the lines. You just you're not aware of it. But he had his ancestry test done and he was like 98% Nigerian.
Oh wow.
He had no idea.
He's my noisy neighbor.
Yeah. So it's really funny. Like cause he doesn't, but because he's from America and I guess like the bloodline, he doesn't, I guess, look it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Africans, like you can always tell African people here or Jamaicans, like they don't look like, you like how you guys say that you would think that I was from the islands, but someone from the islands wouldn't think that I was one of them here.
Probably, yeah. You know
what I'm saying? Like to them, like you could tell that I'm not one of. But if you don't know, like because it's so mixed up here, no one would ever think that. Like, so if you looked at him, you wouldn't think that he was African, because technically he is. He's African. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but like you're African, but he's African. But an African person wouldn't look at him and say he's African because he's American now. Like the Americans can have you. Like, isn't that messed up?
It is messed up.
I think it's really messed up. Like that's unfair. Like it's so unfair. Like I had like this really dope like necklace, like, and I actually stopped wearing it because I would wear it to work because like I used to do like brand ambassador work for like a major alcohol company. So I would wear it every day to work, and it was like a torn piece on it. It was just Africa, and it had like all the countries on it, like, right, you know what I'm saying? And like Africans would come into my job and they would be like, African. That's how aggressive they are. Like Africans do not. I've experienced that so much. They'd be like, "Where you from?" And I'd be like, "Huh?" Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, "Well, I'm black, but like, no." They'd be like, "You gonna be?"
Oh, so they've got it's like a sect. Like they don't really, they ain't trying to mess with you guys like that.
Yeah, like there's definitely, even if you go to the braid shops or something like that, like you can't sit here and say that you're African. Like the African women do not look at African American women as if we're like the same. You're not African. You're
right.
African American. And I hate that separatism because
Damn, that
But
country's so messed up, man. Flipping out.
you say
I
that,
don't.
but I'm gonna just stretch a bit further. I think there's just a massive what's it called? Not separation, but lack of unity within the black community generally.
Yeah, there's so
It's whether
yeah.
over there or whether you're here, it's the same.
You know what? That's what I was
Even the way
actually.
that we treat each other. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Even the way that certain different groups of black people treat each other. Like, if you're an Americanized black person, I see all the time how American black people treat foreign people from other countries. Like,
Mm.
they think that they're better than people from other countries. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Or
Yes,
vice versa. Like,
yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
you get what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? Like, it's just like there's this like it's really really messed up, and it goes back to that slave mentality, that house slave
Yep,
mentality. You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
yep.
Like, you were in the house. You get what I'm saying? Like,
This is what I was trying to say the other day, Kofi. Because remember when we had that conversation about the jerk rice, and it was something that I wanted to clarify
God's
because
sake. Please, if you ever see anything called jerk rice, never try it.
what I was actually trying to say was before we start criticizing other people for stealing parts of our culture or being X or whatever,
Mm.
we need to clean house. Like
Yeah.
us as a people, we have a lot of work to do in
yeah.
terms of accepting each other, right? So before
Mhm.
we start really getting onto everyone outside, like, our sort of demographic or whatever you want to call it, we need to clean house and really get our house in order and really
For sure.
start treating each other better before we start saying, oh, but you're stealing from us. But,
Yep.
we don't even treat each other well in the first place. So, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? It's a bit of a sticky one for me.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Like, I feel like it absolutely starts with us, like, and then it branches out. You get what I'm saying? I said I believe that there's a lot of lack of trust within each other
Why?
because we're so used to having so much adversity against us. I feel like that it's almost like that crabs in a barrel. Like, it's just you waiting to get out, and
Yeah, but
then
I don't
when
think
you
that's
get
going to
out,
go away.
I feel like when you get out and like you get to a certain place, you're so, instead of pulling your brother up, I feel like the way that I look at the system or how it's going around me is just like you're so afraid of someone threatening your position, because that's how the whole world is set up. Like, nobody wants their position of power to be threatened, but if you remove that and think like that's not what we're trying to do, and if we can trust in one another enough to know that like my position of power is not threatened by putting you in one,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can continue to spread out and then build. What we're doing is building upon the same thing, even if they're separate entities, is still within the same reach, like the same spectrum. We're trying to accomplish and achieve the same thing. You get what I'm saying? For the betterment as a whole.
Mm-hmm. And boy, what's funny is I was actually thinking about a situation exactly like that, and still I actually want to get this DJ on because I still talk to him here and now. Long story short, I was absolutely waved when I was in Ibiza, absolutely just waved, and I was talking to this DJ pal. Next thing you know, his manager comes up to me. This is in Ibiza, and says, "How do you know Gary?" I said, "Oh, I DJ with him." I was like, oh, do you? It's like if you DJ with him, then you must be okay. I'll be like, I'll let him tell you that because he works for you. He's like, okay, cool. Here you go. Take my number. Let's have a chat tomorrow. He hadn't even heard me DJ or nothing. Next thing
Mhm.
you know, it's 4 a.m. I am so drunk. I have no idea what's going on. I get a call from Gary. Why are you taking my manager's number? Why are you doing this, that, the other? I said, bro, he came up to me and he said, here you go, take this.
Right.
More to the point, I was just like, what's the problem actually if we are actually both doing
Right.
well and actually doing something? What's the
Exactly.
problem?
Mm-hmm.
there seems
I
to
actually
be
want to
like
get him on the show and actually have this conversation.
there seems to be like a lack, like you said, of like us seeing each other do well and not have that. But you know what? To be fair, it's again, it's a wider thing because envy is a human. It's a human emotion,
Yeah, it's a natural human
right?
reaction
It's
to a
a
lot of stuff.
natural, not an emotion, but it's a natural human reaction. A lot of humans come with envy, so you can't really just put it down to race. However, within the community itself, I think there's heightened levels of envy within our community because it's just crazy. Like it's like we genuinely, and I think that's what it boils down to. Sometimes we just don't want to see each other win.
Yep.
I think there's and just touching on that, like I just feel like for me personally, every time I'm in the position, like I constantly, you guys heard me all night long just throw out names about like just random people, and I just happen to not have, I'm not an envious person. I'm super like just humble and thankful for what it is that I have. I feel like if you're thankful for what you already have, God will give you more things to be thankful for. And I feel like it's always good to be a blessing to somebody else. I feel like blessing someone does not, I feel like me doing anything or telling someone something or giving someone advice or plugging them in, how's that going to affect me any? Like if I'm in a room and I mention your name to someone and someone so decides to stop dealing with me, or if that be the case, then that's just what was meant to happen. If they felt like you were like I was never meant to be working with that person in the first place. If that's how they're going to move, you get what I'm saying? But I never ever felt like if I'm ever in a good position, because there's always a time and place for everything. If I'm ever in a position to speak, I never feel like it's going to affect anything that I have going on. I've never thought that's never been like, I've never been hesitant to speak on something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, if I do that, you're not secure.
Do you think? Yeah, that's. I was just going to ask you that. Do you think that comes with confidence, though? Like, do you think it's because you have a different level of confidence?
Yeah. I feel like it not only does it come with, it's just trusting the way that your life and the way that life is set up and the way that your life was set up for you. You know what I'm saying? And just trusting in the process and knowing who you are. Like I just think that's crazy because I've been in so many rooms and there's often times where like I promote and support so many people who've never supported me ever, like, and still continue. But if I really like something and I feel like it's worth sharing, I'm going to share it. It's not because you did something for me. It's just because I really feel like people need to see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's never like, well, let me share this because you shared mine. Like, you could have never shared any of my work ever in your life. But if you do something that I feel like is just like that great, I'm going to share it just because. That's just how I am.
That's
how it should be.
Well,
should be like that. But hey,
that's just how I've always been. But I believe that, whatever, like I said, whatever is meant for you, it's not going to pass you unless you move out of your position.
Yep. That's very true.
Your blessings and everything are always stationary. They're in a fixed place. I feel like whatever was made for you in this time in your life, like I feel like everything is set up at like checkpoints, and the only way you don't get them is if you veer off. Like, like the planets, they're ever evolving. They're on a path. But if you drift off, then you miss it because you weren't on the right track or the right path. I don't ever feel like anything passes you by. When people like passed you by, no, you missed. You went off.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I look at it.
I personally have a saying that what's it called? Everybody you meet in your life, they have their stop on the bus. They'll get off when they get off.
Yeah.
Simple as that. If they get back on at some stage, then they do. But for the most part, if they get off, they get off.
I think Mason went to finally grab some food.
You know what?
Probably.
I thought you were grabbing some grub.
You know what? You lot did bits, man. It's cool. It's cool.
I did a sneaky one.
Yeah, you did a sneaky one,
but you couldn't hear. You could hear that.
I could hear you just, and I'm like, you know what? I could technically do that, but then I thought, you know what? What I'm gonna do when I come off this call, I'm a pig out.
Yeah, you better enjoy it.
I ordered that kebab that I had last time in.
Oh mate, I told you not to eat that stuff, man.
Bro, honestly, I swear to God, I thought I was gonna die.
I tell you what happened, right? You know when you look at us like a place, like a food place, and you instantly look at the guys that's doing the food, and you look at the place, and you're like, not today.
Yeah.
And I looked at this place, and I said to Kofi, I said, bro, don't eat here. Don't do it.
No. He
Like,
did say that,
couple,
and I was
listen,
insistent.
10, 20 minutes down the road, he's like, yo, I'm on a train. It's dripping with grease. It's everywhere.
It was
Yeah.
the nastiest thing.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
I got
bro, I
home.
told you not to eat that shit.
Yeah, you just know better. That's how I look.
Right,
I'm just looking at the setup of everything. Like I'm thinking about how like the waiters approaching me, how you're talking to me. Everything matters to me. Like if I don't like your approach, I'm like, I suddenly lost my appetite. If I go somewhere and you just don't seem happy about your job, I'm like, well, I didn't actually be here. I'm gonna.
You're gonna hate Jamaican places here then with a passion.
Yeah.
You will hate them with a
No,
passion.
it is a thing here. Not even just there. Don't even say yourself. I hate Jamaican places in the UK.
We don't have that.
Here it is a thing in the US. Like the more ignorant. No, it's
Can
so
I have
funny.
the oxtail? We don't have that.
No, it's
Can
so
I have the
funny.
rice
I'll
and
say that
peas?
because
We
you
don't
guys
have that. Like, what the hell?
US like. No, we want the Jamaican people to be ignorant. We're like, I know my food gonna be good.
Really?
Jamaican ladies always mean. They were like,
They're
just
so
always
confident.
we don't got rice and peas. Like, you want peas or rice and peas? I'm like,
What?
rice.
Rice
It's the
and
same
peas.
thing. No, that's how they be.
Nah.
Like they be like, you
No,
want
but the
peas
thing
or
is,
rice and peas?
listen, at least they're offering you food. You're going into this store. Can I have some rice and peas? Me not have that.
Man, no, that's how they hear. They're the same
Yeah.
way. Especially,
I'm
listen,
like,
Can I have a chicken patty?
me
Me
not
not
have that.
have that.
Like,
they're
what,
no,
what,
by the
what,
way,
it
chicken
gets to the
patties,
point where you're like,
they're the place to go.
like
Don't nobody ever got chicken
what do
patties.
you have? Well, me have the
We have
pot.
water.
You got aki.
me just have the pot. Well,
You got sausage. They
can
gonna
I,
want shit
can,
that
can I have
nobody
the pot?
wants.
Can I have the pot? Me not have that. Sorry, the pot is not for
You
sale,
don't have that.
bro. And it's
Yo.
like every time who
Oh,
else gets
Jesus.
nervous every time I get nervous, and I'm a big guy. Yo, it's my heritage as well. So I'm walking in there and I talk to them in the same lingo.
Slightly patois up
Yes,
English.
you know what I mean. But they could tell that I'm a bit English, right? So they instantly give me that look like, watching my English boy, that's to know, and they get onto me. They get onto me,
and they start speaking that fast patois.
Yeah.
And you
can see them talking under
man.
their breath to the other one, watching.
Yeah, with a bomber
I'm
clad
telling you,
idiot,
and
bro.
it's like, yeah.
Little idiot, you think me pull a wall over me out? Ah, idiot boy.
Bro, listen, but I wouldn't change it for the world. If you don't go in there and get some kind of rudeness, the food's probably going to be dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Be dead.
The ruder they are, the better the food.
Yeah, that's literally the thing.
That's
Like, you guys have to, here in the US, like black people here, like we know that they be like, you want that? You want them to be rude to you? Like, soon they be nasty, be like, this food about to be good. That's fine.
When they're like, do you want an extra portion of plantain with that?
Because they start starting all mad.
Run.
You want the gravy? Slap a bunch of gravy.
Exactly. Run.
If they're too nice, nah.
I love this stuff. I don't know what you guys call it there, but we call it festival here.
Yeah.
Festival, yeah.
You guys call it festival too?
Yeah.
That is so good. Like, it's so not all the Jamaican restaurants here make it. A lot of people don't make it.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, they don't here either. Actually, do they?
Yeah,
not everyone. No, not everyone.
Festival was wicked.
We got the fried dumplings though. I love them.
Festival was wicked.
Yeah.
Fried dumplings is high blood pressure in dough, bro. It's like
no, it's. I mean, I love fried dumpling, but yeah, man, that is route one to flipping a coronary, bruv.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's a heart attack in a ball, bro. Like that's what it is. It's a heart attack.
I don't eat much fried dumpling except from the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, you eat those ones with the chicken inside?
Yeah.
But the gyozas are nice though.
I get the vegetable dumpling. I don't eat poultry. I'm a pescatarian, but
okay.
Pescatarianism for the win. Yo, anyways, guys, listen, we've been going for 2.5 hours.
No.
Yeah,
it's been real,
and it's almost midnight. This is our limit. Anytime it gets like near midnight for us, yeah, exactly.
All right, guys.
No, sorry.
Don't be sorry. We do it all the time. Don't worry. It's not your fault.
It's what we do.
Honestly, Essence, on a real, we need to get you back on when this bloody internet and whatever happened the first time round don't happen again.
Try to find us.
Yeah,
I'm dropping new music next month, so have me on then.
What'd you say?
I said I'm dropping new music next month, so anytime after that.
You need to forward me your thing. I dropped you the email. You need to forward it. I'm so sorry about yesterday.
It's totally fine.
And we'll get it sorted. And obviously,
that's what I was actually going to say to you before we went was like, what's what's in the pipeline. What's going on with
Hold on,
Essence in the
that
future?
is so rude. Imagine we've talked all this 2.5 hours and not asked that question.
I know we got real personal, but
I know we did.
We stepped away from. Let's talk to you about what's
Let's
next.
talk about your career. Yes, for the next
Okay,
10
we'll
minutes.
spread in there. It's not too much. Well, as far as my career upcoming, I'm releasing another single next month on March 3rd. So I'm threes are my thing. So I'm recently releasing on the 3rd. I'm really excited about this single actually. This is another single. I'll probably do a few more singles like that. The project that I've been releasing off of, so this is gonna be my 3rd single off the same project.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How big is this project? Are you doing a Chris Brown on us?
Thing, like right.
You doing a Chris Brown? Yeah.
At this point, it's an album. It was an LP, then it became an EP, and now it's basically like it's like an album, but it's gonna be so. It's just a very beautiful, cohesive body of work. And I worked with various producers, but it's just my ability to be able to piece sounds and hear things that it just all flowed. Like I know the instrumentation and everything I was going for, so it all just feels so. It just gelled together perfectly. So, but yes, March 3rd, I am releasing another single. I'm not going to give the name to it yet, but I will definitely keep you guys updated on that. And then after that, I have a record that I did with this kid. His name is Foreign. He's amazing. He's my bro. He's over there in Zambia right now. He lives in Africa. Yeah, and I did like this really dope record featuring him. And I've been sitting on that for 2 years now. And it's like it's because it's such a big record. And this is one of those things where I'm like, I know this is great. Like, I mean, it's so great. Like, it's great.
You got big.
Like, I listen to the record and I listen to it and I'm just like, wow, this is big. I feel like I just did something like almost too big for me. But there's no such thing, obviously. But I'm going to be releasing that. And we're going to be able to do shoot the video in separate locations. Like he's going to do his over in Africa and I'm going to shoot mine here and we're going to.
That's going to be wicked.
Sick.
Yeah. Sick. So I'm really excited about that. So that's coming early summer. So,
Make sure you get these singles over to us because obviously we do have the platform on one of these stations over here. So every Sunday we throw down some hits and Kofi's going to take over my radio show real soon. So
I'm going to destroy us.
It would be nice to, you'll be all right. You're going to be thrown down. It'll be nice to play some of your music on the radio show and just try and help you get your stuff out there to the masses. So
yeah.
Let us know when this music comes out, and we'll be happy to throw it out there.
For sure. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And also, I mean, I know we're in lockdown currently, but did you have any plans to travel to England?
Definitely, that's my next goal is to get to the UK. Just because, like I said, I have a very nice following out in the UK and a nice music fan base out there. I definitely want to get there just so that I can actually connect with them. You know what I mean? Connect with you all and to just get a better sense of what you guys have going on over there.
I mean, we're trying to grow it. We're trying to grow it slowly, but hopefully by the time things open up a little bit, hopefully Levels develops a bit more of a presence and we can set up a couple things for you. We'd love to have you over.
I'd love to come over. And who knows when this whole thing is going to, I don't know about blowing over. I feel like it's a lot of work.
Listen, they said we could have picnics in March.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
This guy, our flipping idiot of a flipping prime minister said this is the last lockdown. Why is he gonna chat so much thrash? Yeah, when we got winter 2021 to come. This guy's some idiot, man. What's wrong with him?
Love how you guys talk. Why is he gonna chat? Why is he gonna?
Oh, sorry.
Bro, he's a pussy, bro. Like seriously, the way he behaves, bro. Like I've always said, it's one of them ones where if at one point I was so mad at him, I said if I catch him, I'm gonna bang him. I'm gonna bang him.
100%. You just swing him. You just swing him.
Bang him.
Yeah, just hit him. Yeah.
I know it's just so funny because our slang here, that's not how we would use that word.
I mean, we know we can use it in that term as well.
Yeah, we do use it in that way as well.
Use it in any other term.
Yeah.
No, but it's just so fun. I love how you guys the way you guys speak is just. Do you guys when you're talking to Americans are we easily understood?
Yeah.
Unless you got one of those thick Southern country accent, I'm just like. Oh yeah, okay.
Or unless you're Future, I don't know what the fuck that nigga says at any point. Anyway.
Yeah, he's like my drunk uncle.
I don't know what. Listen, I just know I like vibing to his shit sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know what he actually says. Like I'm like, what did he say?
We both said the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyways, it's been wonderful, guys. We're wrapping up.
Yes.
2.5 hours later.
Yeah.
That's
and a dead phone, so.
And a dead phone. That means we've done a good job. But what's it called? Everybody, Essence's Insta is just across the bottom of the page now. Give her a follow. You'll definitely be seeing a lot more of her stuff on our page. On Sunday, you got Mason, who's going to be live on EXT Radio. We'll definitely drop Essence, one of Essence's tracks that she's going to drop to us as well. What else? Essence's YouTube is across the bottom. If you just forward / Essence Natay on the YouTube, give it a follow, subscribe to the channel, see the newness that's coming. It'll be wicked. Show some support. And yeah, again, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much. And we've taken you away from your family for 2.5 hours. Yeah. We're sorry.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Stay beautiful and stay blessed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Peace, everyone. Listen, I'm going to try and play this thing. Let's see if it works. Oh, it's not loading. Oh, it is. All right. Peace, guys.
All right. Peace, bro. Take care. Right, bye.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit.